as good as your cherry ripe is someone else's.
Honey.
Dad?
Here's a dad who knows just what he doesn't want for Father's Day.
Dad?
Yes,
Have we had the tape measure?
And here's a specialist who knows exactly what kind of toys your dad really wants. And here's the Toys for the Boys catalogue and a chance to win Dad a fabulous Ford Explorer from the store that's been giving dads what they really want for decades.
Hi, Dad. I made this for you.
And here's you feeling pretty good.
Girlfriend cooked dinner again last night.
McDonald's new massive McMuffin, the biggest McMuffin ever.
Dobbed in by his mates.
Oh, you're joking.
Now he's hanging by a thread
If you do fall, you will drop.
over a humongously high gorge.
Bet you're regretting Bag and Emma in the office, eh?
The ultimate payback on Who Dares Win, 6:30 Sunday. Then at 7, Soul Man. It's discipline Soul Man style.
Touch that and it will give you a big kiss on the lips in front of your school.
Is there any end to his wisdom?
Everyone was upset when I didn't show up. You were the groom.
All new Soul Man Sunday at 7 on 7.
The forecast for tonight's currently 11 degrees at Football Park. We're expecting a minimum of 8 degrees and maybe the chance of a shower or two during the match. The lads are ready for what should be a ripping first quarter. Take it away, Sandy.
Yes, thank you, Craig. Welcome back to Football Park, and we welcome our viewers in South Australia. Full house here and a live telecast. Joining me tonight, one man who's contemplating his future. We won't talk about that. Lee Matthews and Mickey McGuan. Boys, good evening.
Thanks, Sandy. Yes, and good evening, Mick. And I guess it's second versus fifth, but the grand final preview seems like an opt word for the clash.
Yeah, for sure, Lee. And you have a look at the Adelaide team. They're all fired up. And there's Andrew McLeod. What a quality player he is. No
20
doubt
kicks last week, Mick, and no handballs. Amazing stats.
Yeah, he is so vital to the Crows lineup as we look at the Adelaide team. I think the midfield is so important tonight. You look at Sean Wren, he can provide the likes of Jarman, Rashudo and Connell in the midfield first access to the ball to give their forwards in Modra and Robran a chance to put enough scoreboard pressure on the Adelaide team. Who's going to play on Carey? That's probably a telling factor. Only time will tell.
Yeah, great play. 8 goals last week. Averages 19 possessions and he's kicked 64 goals, averages 8 marks as well. He's just a wonderful player, wonderful leader. And the North Melbourne team, well, their ability to score has just been magnificent. Carey's the linchpin of their attack, but really a lot of players rotate through that part of the ground, but they're a very heavy scoring side. This will be a terrific game.
Yes, looking forward to it, boys. So too our man on the boundary, Donald Neil Curley, who'll be fascinated to see how Darren Jarman performs tonight. Curls, welcome.
Thanks very much, Danny. Well, the viewers say there has been a heavy shower of rain about 3/4 of an hour ago. The grass is fairly long. If we get more rain, the players will have difficulty not only holding their feet but handling the ball. It's going to be a very torrid opening. I think we see McLeod starting in the centre, which will be an interesting one there. He played there last week against Geelong and did a very, very good job. It's going to be a cliffhanger. It'll be an absolute beauty. Sit back and enjoy it.
Thanks, Curls. Peter Caven there we can see, and McLeod and Stevens in the middle. So here we go. Round 21, Saturday night football. Nigel Smart is the acting skipper tonight with Bickley out of it. Bell gets the first kick off the ground. Overrun by Tyson. Pushed wide towards centre wing. Archer comes back into the North Melbourne lineup this week. He gets an early touch and is taken over the line when Archer coming in for Chandler.
It's interesting, Corey McKernan has started as an alternate half forward and Sean Wren has actually picked him up one-on-one. Pittman, of course, starting the ruck on Capuano. So that's an interesting approach, similar to what the Crows went with Wren against Everett against St Kilda a few weeks back.
Archer with strength, wobbles it down to the forward line. Carey and Caven. Psychological victory early to Peter Caven. Here's McLeod to the roars of the crowd. Well, there's a sensational smother by Stevens. Back to McLeod once again. Again hassled by Stevens. Gets his kick away. And intercept marked by McCartney.
Yeah, and that's the type of job Anthony Stevens loves. He's got the challenge of curbing the brilliant Andrew McLeod, and what a contest that'll be tonight.
McCartney will be keen to do well against his old side tonight. Former Adelaide and former Collingwood. Bell just gets boot to ball. Rock taken to the line. And the ball is taken over by Tyson Edwards. Full house, fantastic atmosphere. And as we've said, our live telecast going throughout South Australia on 7. Big game for the home side. Big game for North Melbourne. Top spot at stake. Winston Abraham gets a cool bounce. So too does Tyson. Clever little tap by Robert. That was delightful up towards Connell. He kicks them inside 50. Now watch out for McLeod. Here he goes. Tries to soccer off the ground. Again, sensational work by Stevens. Pokes it out the back door. Tyson's a chance. 25 metres out. He goes!
Yeah, good start there by the Crows, wasn't it? They certainly, when he dived on the ball, Stevens, he knows he can't lay on the ball, and really he just had to hit it back, but he's blind to it, of course. Hits it back behind him, got no clue who's there. And when you're in the forward 50 like that, it becomes a 50-50 situation. If it goes to a opposition player, as it did then through Tyson, it's almost an automatic goal.
Centre-backs again, Andrew Coates, Stephen Handley and Gavin Dorr are the men in white. Pittman wins it, but pushes it wide to accommodate Connell. The crew-cutted Connell goes down towards half-forward. Robert with aggression, but an equally good tackle lays him low. Abraham defends from half-back. Kicks wide towards centre wing. Caven in front of Carey. Well, he got the job earlier in the year.
Gets a morale booster, isn't it? The first two times the ball's gone to the pair. Caven's emerged with the kick.
Tyson's having a field day. He can bounce his way down to half-forward if he wants to. He elects to chip instead. And it may turn out to be all right because Vardy tries to poke it even further forward to accommodate Modra. It's socked away from him. Back to Tyson. Short little one's okay to Robert. He's got McLeod in the pocket. Stevens is there with him.
You nearly think he'd go back and have a shot on goal here, Sandy. He's a prodigious kick.
He can hoist it. And he's gone to the right there. That's over for one behind.
Another interesting matchup is that Glenn Archer's actually started forward. Interesting there for the North Melbourne. They've gone with the conventional setup, knowing the McKernan's alongside him in the full forward part of the ground. And Archer, of course, has been picked up by Nigel Smart.
It's an interesting scenario tonight, Lee, isn't it? Because North, having won 7 straight, you'd think must lose one if they're going to have a decent run then to the final.
It's that prefers percentages, isn't it, really? Yes, eventually the more games you play, the more closer a loss becomes.
And the Crows, on the other hand, should they win tonight, they could afford to drop next week because they've got that marvellous percentage. Anyway, it's North Melbourne going deep into attack. Rashudo, did he give a push? Yes, said the umpire.
Well, the umpire was certainly in the perfect position. Side on to the contest, and the hands in Simpson's back. Didn't look like a lot of contact. A lot of contact, really, but the umpire was 10 metres to its side on, so got to say he had a better view than I did.
So it's a pretty fiery cauldron, this football park tonight, as Adam Simpson will have a shot 40 metres out. And the left footer tries to ride it home, but he's not successful.
Yeah, and Simpson's got the negating role on Rashudo. Also another matchup in the midfield. Kim Costa's got the job on Peter Bell, who was so elusive the last time these two sides met.
Rashudo's had a marvellous month too. He's been in wonderful form. Takes the kick in. Anthony Rock's pushing him deep into the pocket. He ignores the leads of Costa and Connell and Hart, and eventually heads towards Wren and Pittman. And the latter calls for it, but the umpire calls play on. Here's Winston Abraham, ripped away from the football. The long hand pass by Tyson accommodates Hart. Then Hart looks in towards half-forward. Beautifully to Vardy. The Crows are light at the moment. Vardy plays on. He's got the dashing McLeod down in the right forward pocket. He can steady. Oh, look at this wizard at work. Around 1, around 2, but then kicks into the man on the mark. This is pressure football at its best. Scott's kick is high, out towards Bell. Taken high over the line and get a free kick.
I think Anthony Stevens, of course, is picking up McLeod, but I think McLeod's just going to drift into half-forward and make play virtually as a half-forward flank would make Stevens play as a small defender.
Costa in towards the forward line again, and Vardy takes the mark just inside 50.
Which I think is good tactics because around the midfield Stevens will run hard, but I think when you go to that explosive speed that McLeod possesses around half-forward, that's really going to trouble Anthony Stevens, I would think.
Kicking from just on 50. Lovely kick from Peter Vardy. What a start by the Crows.
At last it's here. Monday, 8:30 on 7. Ally McBeal begins. It's a drama that'll make you smile.
It's not just winning, it's winning ugly that matters.
A comedy that'll make you think.
That would figure.
The year's most anticipated new series starts with a 2-hour premiere.
Did I miss anything?
Mitsubishi Motors brings you Ally McBeal, Monday 8:30 on 7.
The Crows by 12 points with goals from Tyson and Vardy. An exciting start. Back in the middle once again. Pittman went late, pushed down towards the forward line. Roberts tries to slap it out towards the wing. Pike leads in the race, but he's under a ton of pressure. In fact, he's hustled off the ball by Tyson. Tyson's having a sensational start. Away he goes to Goodwin. Into Osborne.
And that's a foreign part of the ground for Simon Goodwin. He's actually matching up on Martin Pike in midfield. Usually he's playing across half-back. He's a terrific running half-back is Goodwin. Just got to the contest, received the overlapping handball, and there was Modra on the burst, found front position against his opponent in Michael Martin. Here's an opportunity to get the Crows up and going. Very important kick.
6-4 last week against the Cats in his comeback, and they continue on.
Yes, this is a fantastic start by the Crows. Really, the game is just, they've owned it in this first 5 minutes. North Melbourne, when they have got forward, have not been able to get any kind of possession, and certainly Tyson's had 2 or 3 really key possessions, but this is really very precise play, isn't it? Beautiful pass to the lead, and that leap from the front position that Mike would possess as Martin was out of the contest.
18 points the margin. Back again for Pittman, who wins it. They're dashing it out of the centre. North have got to try and stop this run.
Well, this is interesting. I mean, I must say, Curls is down the boundary. How you see it from down ground level, Curls? Pretty hot.
Yeah, very good, the Crows. And also interesting with Malcolm, like Rashudo's been the, you'd say, the dominant midfielder in the comp the last month, staying in the back pocket on Simpson.
Well, we always expect the unexpected from Malcolm, and tonight is no exception. Roberts again, a chance to take a fairly hot ball. Gives it away to King, who from a standing start pumps it high towards the left half forward. North needs something down in this attacking zone, and eventually it's forced over the line by good pressure by Edwards on Abraham.
I've got to say one thing about the positioning during this game. I think once you blink, the positions will change because there's going to be guys all over the field. But even at this very early stage, Pittman versus Capuano in the ruck, I reckon that's to the Crows' advantage. They've just maybe got to get McKernan in there, even though Wren will go in as well.
Capuano had front spot, but straight down the half. The Crows having all the possessions at the moment. Coleman kicks the centre wing. Pryor pushed, the umpire says no. McKernan steams away from Wren, who's having a bit of a chat with the umpire. Down towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for holding, but it's gone astray as Rashudo works hard against Archer, two of the best in the business. Again, it comes back to Carey. Around the body he goes. In towards full forward. Crows have the numbers. Edwards has the hand pass. He's also got Hart tucked in the back pocket.
Poor play by Carey.
Tyson has to beat a couple. A big ass picked up by Roberts. He bounces it in towards goal. Needs it to spin around Pittman.
The pressure's even getting to the great Ray Carey, I reckon. He had a shot at goal then when Grant was just on his own 10 metres goal side. Hand pass to Grant, he would have almost run into the open goal, but the pressure of the occasion and the fact that North are behind made Carey have a quick kick that behind resulted when it should have been a goal.
Rashudo was the target, but he couldn't take it. Rock comes away in towards Bell, who marks 30 metres out, and a chance for Peter Bell to post North Melbourne's first goal.
Dangerous kicking down the middle, those ones. Just beyond the 50-metre mark, it's a Russian roulette. If you lose possession, as the Crows have done, a lot of North Melbourne players in the zone positions there to be used on the way back.
Crows' last 3 games have been wonderful. They've won by a minimum of 72 points. They've made a flying start here tonight, and Bell, on the other hand, is away to the right.
They're just
not going for the Kangaroos, is it?
They're just important shots on goal, especially when the Adelaide Crows team are using the ball so well with both hand and feet. And when you get the opportunity 30 metres out from goal, they're the goals you've got to jail to keep in a contest.
Quickly to the outer side to his acting skipper. Nigel Smart goes on to centre wing. Danger here. Rashudo was there, but he couldn't take the mark. At the back is Anthony Stevens. He whips it in towards half forward once again. Carey's not in the pack. He's waiting at the back. This is Archer. Just just inside 50, but in trouble. Needs support. Spears a worm burner in towards half forward. And again, Peter Bell takes the mark.
Well, they've recovered from that initial shot, North, but they really need to nail one of these shots. They are not going to get too many chances because the Crows certainly look pretty sharp.
His last shot, he was away to the right. This time he's slightly further out. And in going for the distance, he could have pulled it the other way, to the left and into the woodwork. Even the goal umpire's smiling.
Did we say they qualified for the Yips at this point very early in the game?
I think you're a bit harsh.
You missed 4 straight, although I tell you what, the next North player that has a shot for goal will be thinking that.
Mind you, their accuracy in recent weeks has not been good. Let's see what Roberts can do from 51 metres. It's high and it's wide in towards the pocket. Hart is the effective spoiler. Here it comes to Bell again. A case of third time lucky for Peter Bell. It's high and it's pretty close. I think he might have it. No, he's missed again. He cannot believe it. And that gentleman can.
Yeah, once again, we see the D value of kicking straight down the centre. Ben Hart, who's usually a very precise kick, on that occasion rushed himself and kicked more or less a floater to his teammate further on down the ground. Didn't result in its actual target, finding the target, and the turnaround ball gave North an opportunity to kick another goal, or their first.
In fact, Mick, in the last 5 games, North has kicked 101 behinds. So they have been slightly astray as Smart takes a fingertipper. Now he's got Tyson, who could well have won Tats Lotto the way he's playing this first quarter. Give him a rap and that's what happens. Into the man on the mark. Roberts applying the pressure. Tyson could be just about gone. The umpire says no, I'll have it.
It was interesting, from those kick-ins, North Melbourne seemed to be playing a zone inside the 50-metre line, but outside the line they were playing a man-to-man approach. It was an interesting defensive structure North had set up there.
Roberts pushes it in towards half forward. Rock had the run. Now he gives it away to Grant, and he snaps away to the right.
Yeah, they're certainly peppering the goals at this stage of the game, and it's so important at some stage one player's got to put one through, because certainly they've controlled and steadied the ship over this last 5 minutes of play.
Girls.
Yes, the breeze is not favouring either end. It's virtually going straight across the ground.
Tell you what often happens when you're having shot after shot from behind after behind, the opposition end up going down the other end and kicking a goal. Yeah. So I guess we'll watch this. This next minute is very important, that if North don't kick one quickly, it's certainly that the Crows don't go forward and make them pay down the other end.
It was Connell who kicked it initially down towards centre wing and socked it off the ground for a throw-in on that outer side.
It was interesting then to watch that kicking. It appeared that all the one-on-one matchups, Wren on McKernan, or McKernan on Wren, Pittman on also Capuano, the talls basically band up outside that forward 50, and the midfield group were inside the zone and area.
North again a chance through Stevens to go down towards the half-forward line. Again, though, it's Smart who tidies up. He belts it back towards the middle. Costa is caught behind King. Good work by Bell, who's been busy early on, but they just can't kick goals at the moment. Stevens gets another possession. There was Anthony up towards half-forward. Caven went high with one hand. Grant a chance if he can get clear, but he has it stolen. Beautifully done by Matty Connell. Back he comes towards the centre wing. Wanted Wren, but the big man was caught behind. Now Abraham with the opportunity. 70 metres out. Floats it into half forward. Carey. An almost arrogant hand pass, but so effective, and it's going to be finished off. Finally, they've broken the ice. David King.
We've developed a car to cut through air faster, which makes it quiet, more fuel efficient, and increases its stability and road holding. The Mitsubishi Magna V6, the most aerodynamic Australian-built car. It'll blow the competition away.
A blistering opening by Adelaide has been stemmed, and now the margin back to 7 points, and the umpire's calling for a new ball. Curls, you've been in the news here in South Australia this week calling for Darren Jarman to be traded at the end of the year. What are you going to say to it?
Oh, it's a very small town, Adelaide.
Yeah, but it's a big story, Curls.
No, I said to look at, not to be, to look at.
Was that spoken by Neil Curley or the Crows assistant coach, do you think, boys? It's a nightmare. The King, Donald Neal, back in the middle. Good first quarter here. If you've just joined us on 7, stay with us for the night, won't you? Overrun by Edwards. He had it spent a little bit too early. There's been a whistle. A tackle too high. It's going to come back to North Melbourne to be taken by Anthony Rock.
And Sandy, it was interesting to see North Melbourne react and bring Capuano off the ground, being replaced by Glenn Freeborn, and Adelaide went with the same approach.
In towards half forward. Carey was one of the targets. Bell was there also. And the latter's interfered with Hart. Few ironical cheers as he goes short to Goodwin. Goodwin looks from half back down towards centre wing. Wren having to make a lot of meterage. Can't catch this man, Corey McKernan. What a key card he is in the North Melbourne pack. Like this one, Carey, but couldn't take it. Archer, good hand pass out in front of Rock. Didn't quite take it. Archer goes again. Conneller's right there with him. He pushes to Bell. That was clever. Peter Bell keeps it in play. Goes back in towards Carey. Gave a bit of a nudge. And has taken the mark. He'll have a shot 20 metres out.
Well, that's good news, I reckon, for North. The way a couple of times McKernan is beaten Wren in the one-on-one contest, and now Carey's won a contest against Caven. So I think there's plenty of football to be played in this game, no doubt about that. The Crows jumped out of the blocks early, but all of a sudden, the last 5 minutes, North have really started to assume a bit of control of the ball.
8 last week, 64 for the season. 64 goals, 23 behinds, and now he's added another goal. And North Melbourne get their second.
Well, I always thought that you had to take your new car back to the dealer to get it serviced. But this friend of mine said that she gets hers serviced at UltraTune. They use all of the right parts and the price is fixed. Hey, they sound pretty good to me.
We talk about the importance of this game for the Adelaide Crows. Big for the boys from Arden Street, though, too. They can regain top spot. Pike has it pushed down his throat. Simpson is there to assist, and he'll need to be because Matty Connell is riding him to the ground.
Well, actually, now that the first half of the first quarter flurries are finished, North have really settled at the moment on Carey and Archer. It's pretty much a two-man forward line. They're the only two players forward of the centre square, so they're terrific contest they're going to be. Smarter, terrific player as is Archer. I'm sure those two duels are going to very much determine what happens in this game.
Here's Bell again. He's been busy. 7 kicks so far. Down towards Carey and Caven. The former is the quicker to recover. He might have a snap here. Around the body he goes with Archer in the forward line. Pulls a little too far right for a behind.
Well, again, he didn't give the hand pass. He is liking to have the shots there himself tonight, the big fella.
It was interesting to see too, Lee, what Malcolm Blight will actually do in sort of being proactive to this sort of pagan paddock that everyone's speaking about, knowing that every other player's up the ground. They've got the 2 champions in their forward 50 home alone, basically. Well, they push an extra defender back to sort of protect an area.
7 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Smart to the outer side towards Wren. Pushed towards the line by Roberts and finally taken over.
It's interesting when the Crows played St Kilda now, almost 3 or 4 weeks ago. I thought Wren almost said, I'm going to get the ruck title off Everett on that night, and he was kind of the hunter that night. I've got a feeling tonight Corey McKernan's got that job in mind, thinking to himself, well, Wren may have it, but if I can do him tonight, then I get the title, because he's having that kind of body language.
The advantage is paid to Grant from Winston Abraham. Carey again gave a nudge, or appeared to. Sockers off the ground, and touched on the line. Desperate stop here at Football Park.
Terrific play by Caven. I don't know, players seem to kick a lot of soccer-type goals these days. I would wonder, why wouldn't you just quickly pick it up and just a little left footer before you even bend over? You don't even need to straighten up, make a certainty on it.
You could do that. You're not going to do for nothing.
Not everyone was Lee Matthews. Wren couldn't quite take the one-hander. McKernan is there with him. Out it comes towards Pike. Hand pass goes astray. Tyson tries to tidy up. He needs support. He gets it from Hart. He flicks it back towards Tyson. Just a fraction too wide and over the line. Dennis Pagan saw his Chargers shoot back to the top of the ladder last week. The Bulldogs for the moment have regained that. Roberts again doing the ruck work. Ormond Allen's kick is only short, straight to David King. He says, get out of my way, I'm going for goal. And he does, straight through the middle. Connell.
So, who's going to get the Brownlow this year?
Sydney's already got it, haven't they?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Silly Usher.
Brutally honest, footy up close in the Advertiser. Don't miss the footy lift out every Monday and Friday for all the AFL and SANFL news, previews and reviews from the experts who are up close to footy. In the Advertiser, today's newspaper.
What a quarter. Adelaide first out of the blocks with the first 3 goals. North Melbourne steady, getting the second 3. Roberts pushing towards the Crows' end just for the moment. Pike couldn't take it. It was a little too warm. Connell accepts the hand pass and kicks up towards right half forward, and the mark is taken by Goodwin.
In actual fact, it's Brett James who's got the job on David King at this stage. Maybe his speed could be a little bit of a factor later on.
Penetrating kick by Goodwin. Jarman doesn't miss those.
No, you said it in one, Sandy. As soon as he turned onto that side, it was a goal. We put it out, put a little tick. If it was a set shot from 20 metres out, we might be not so certain, strangely enough. But he just knows how to finish when he gets half a chance. And certainly Jarman, the ability to kick the ball just around corners is just something he does.
Ran on.
So well.
Pittman on, Lee.
It's an interesting situation. Just at that last centre bounce, in fact, Mark Roberts contested the centre bounce and McKernan dropped defensive side. Yeah, so I think Crows going with the same with North. Only one ruckman on the ground at this point.
Jarman, 1 kick, 1 goal. Pittman, big fly in the middle. McKernan takes it out of the centre. Caven's in front of Carey, but he has to work hard. So too does Smart. Oh, he's hustled out of it by Archer, who sockers off the ground. They'll go again. Look at Winston. The flying Abraham sees it behind.
I think that matchup will worry, actually, Adelaide, with Brett James on David King, because Brett James, as we know, is an in and under player, whereas David King sort of sits off the pack and he can be used on the overlap. They may have to restructure in the midfield there to a degree.
Just on 5 minutes left. McKernan from behind. Pittman and Rashudo in front. Tyson takes the hand pass, but that's an excellent smother once again. And North keep it in the zone. That was Freeborn. And let's go down to the boundary line and Neil Curley.
With Sandy, with North Melbourne taking the challenge on now, they're putting a lot of pressure on the Crows, and we've seen a few Crows players fumble the ball in the last 5-7 minutes.
In North's attacking zone, Pittman almost rode his opponent. James goes down towards centre wing. McCartney taps towards the line. Played with Collingwood and the Crows before finding a home at Arden Street. North have had 7 straight wins, going for 8, the most by any side this year. There was a slight fumble, but he's recovered. Tries to get it back towards Costa. He gets through some heavy traffic and goes short to Rodman.
Yeah, that's terrific awareness and vision. He just knew Rodman was drifting forward into that hole about 25 metres from goal. As we see here, the evasive ability initially, but just that's a well-weighted kick, actually. Didn't have to kick over an opponent. The space was there to kick truly, but it was well weighted, so the North Melbourne player couldn't intercept the ball.
Good run by Ben Hart too. He's been matched up by Anthony Rock and Peter Bell changing off the ball, and his run out of there is a bit of a problem for North.
Rodman, who's booted 15 goals so far this season. 15 goals, 8 coming into this game, now 15-9.
Just got too close to the man on the mark on that occasion, Tandy.
In that situation we spoke about earlier the game when Rashudo ended up at full-back on Simpson. I think Simpson looks like he's pretty much got the job on Rashudo, and I think Simpson just drifted forward and Rashudo had to go with him because he was his specific opponent. That's, I think, how Rashudo ended up in a defensive goal square for a while.
12 effective scoring shots to 6 at the moment. Blakey gets a hurried one to Roberts on the outer side. He's got a little bit of time to steady and kick in towards the middle. And the diving mark is taken there by Glenn Freeborn. Plays on quickly North Melbourne. Down towards Archer. He couldn't take it, but watch out. Winston's at the back. He scoops it up now. He's just about gone. He recovers and he bends back in towards goal. Winston is a sensation.
By the red light camera, fined $200, but the police got it wrong.
if they can't get the locations right.
Very wrong.
You know, the light was still orange. How many other people have been caught?
Wrong location, wrong colour. The full story, Monday at 6. On Today Tonight, jailed for stealing a $2 lighter. The new zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
It's a place you don't want to go.
And the Adelaide family who say Princess Di has come to stay.
You've got to see it to believe in it.
That's Today Tonight, 6:30 Monday.
Oh, golly, this place is rocking at the moment, and the lead singer is Winston Abraham. What a goal. What a recovery. Pittman out of the middle now. Once again, though, it's North through Grant, who sets it up for the dashing David King. Away he goes in towards the forward zone. King Carey sets himself, and that is all class.
That's the standard, it's a standard Pagan's paddock situation, Mick, again, where Carey was the only player forward. They don't actually kick it to Carey. King came forward, he just blasted at the goals, which meant Carey and Caven sort of coming back with the flight of the ball, and that puts a defender in a terribly awkward situation, and Carey just got the front spot and just pushed back into the line of the ball. A terrific strong mark.
One so far tonight, 65 for the season. Carey kicking from 35 metres. And this has been a sensational comeback by North Melbourne. He's kicked his second.
There's no doubt about it. They just kick to a designated space and let Carey do the rest of the work. And it's so hard once you're running against the flight of the ball from a defensive point of view as we see this build-up. And remembering all North Melbourne players are up the ground. We see King actually charging forward. Carey's ran back initially. Caven's gone to the same spot that Carey's got to, but because he's the forward, he can react a little bit quicker to the flight of the ball, finds front position. And as Lee said, that's the typical standard Wayne Carey mark, finding front spot, leaning back against his opponent, taking an easy mark.
14 shots to 6. North Melbourne by 13 points. McKernan almost threw it out of the middle. Picked up by James. A hurried kick down towards half forward. The Crows desperately want to steady it, but it's Pickett who pumps it high. Back towards the half forward line. Carey underneath. Caven over the top. Smart tries to sock off the ground once. He'll go again. Nigel Smart gives the hand pass away to Hart. He looks up towards centre wing. Watch out for Pickett here. He's at the back. So too is King. And it's David King, who's had an excellent first quarter. Kicks in towards half forward, and Archer takes the mark.
It's interesting, Mick, certainly Malcolm Blight hasn't reacted to that situation we've spoken of just Archer and Carey deep. He's just going with his two defenders, Smart and Caven, to judge it best they can. I guess he maybe is thinking to himself, is there another structure or another matchup? But really, the midfield's where they're getting caned at the moment, the Crows. But if North go forward, they will kick goals.
The 96 Norm Smith medalist kicking from 51 metres as it's shepherded through for a goal. Carey again does the bullocking work.
On that occasion too, you've just got to know that your opponent's kicking distances.
Why would Pittman be back in the goal square? He's kicking from almost the 50-metre mark. Exactly. You know, certainly to make the distance. And look at this. Would have dropped on the goal line. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's very poor defence, communication, whatever you like to call it out there. In situations like that, you've just got to be aware of the opponent's strengths and what they are capable of producing.
26 plays 45. This has been a staggering turnaround. Adelaide first to settle, and now North comes storming back. McKernan again out of the centre. It's high, it's towards Carey. He gets rid of Caven, but does so illegally. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Crows.
Other side of the coin is, Sandy, you can't be dependent on free kicks happening for the Adelaide team to sort of curb that particular space for North Melbourne.
Goodwin gives it away to James. Let's see what they can set up here. They need one close to siren time with just over a minute remaining in the quarter. Pickett tries to score from behind. Costa gives a hand pass away. The kick is high in towards the pocket. Pickett goes over the top once again, close to the boundary line. Kept in for a moment by David King. Cook is there for the Crows, the little terrier, right on the boundary line. Brings it back, a century kick. Ormond Allen was the flyer. He couldn't take the mark. Mickey Martin's in there as well. James has buffered it out. McCarthy there also. But North defence, strong as a rock. Out they come through Simpson back towards centre wing. Another opportunity for Rashudo. Pittman picks it up and he gives it away. Goodwin has a look down towards the forward line and finds Robran.
I was just thinking, Lee, whether Robran could be the bloke to push back in that second quarter. sort of nullify that space for Carey and Archer, knowing McCartney's his direct opponent.
He can kick a ball, this boy. But he's away to the left, one behind.
There's no trouble from the distance from outside 50. Yeah, what's interesting is, I think really where they've got to lift it at the moment is in the midfield. Just North are getting the ball and they're running harder. King around the midfield has been just really penetrating. He had 6 kicks, but he just seems to run his 10 or 15 metres with the ball and drive the thing 50 or 60. So I think it's around the midfield the Crows somehow or other have to get a little bit more of the ball.
David King has a few seconds left. Comes back towards centre wing. At the back is Hart. 10 seconds for the Crows to peg one back. Modra was the flyer. Bell goes off the ground. A little bit of safety first. Right on siren time, and Malcolm Blight down on the ground already. Have to wait any longer because it's quarter time here at Football Park, and an absorbing first quarter to say the least, with the Adelaide Crows kicking 3, North Melbourne storming back.
You certainly wouldn't, after 5 minutes, you wouldn't have thought the score was going to be like this at quarter time, because the Crows just absolutely exploded in that first few minutes of the game. But then North, they frustrated themselves with inaccurate kick, 5 or 6 points straight. But now they've got the scoreboard really ticking over to have a nice lead.
Yes, 15 effective scoring shots to 7 at quarter time. It is North Melbourne 6-9-45 leading Adelaide 4-3-27 here on 7.
And Winston Abraham shows his class, a great goal in the opening quarter. More shortly from Football Park.
Covered, and he bends back in towards goal. It is a sensation.
This 7 News Update brought to you by Colonial, giving you fresh insurance, investment and banking solutions.
Hello again, reviewing the top stories from 7 Nightly News. America remains on a heightened security alert tonight. The move follows a declaration of war by millionaire terrorist Osama bin Laden, the target of this week's US military strikes. The state's road toll has soared with the loss of 3 lives in a single road smash in the southeast. And Labor MP Terry Cameron has been banished from the party, labelled a rat by other party members after he resigned. Cold and wet again tomorrow, just 14 for a top. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Nobody knows news like 7.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
I thought that was in mothballs. No, when I use that, it's money off the mortgage. Money off the mortgage? It's Colonial Home Pack. Sue and I use the 55-day free credit on the card, leave our salaries in the bank to offset against the loan, and bingo. Money off the mortgage.
So your bank saves you interest on your home loan while you spend their money?
Yep.
Well, your bank can buy me another beer then.
This is tonight's Cross Lotto result. Hope you're a winner. And a reminder that Lotto information can be obtained by ringing 1900 989 101. Now back to the Crows North Melbourne game.
Dad?
Here's a dad who knows just what he doesn't want for Father's Day.
Dad?
Yes,
have we had the tape measure?
And here's a specialist who knows exactly what kind of toys your dad really wants. And here's the Toys for the Boys catalogue, and the chance to win Dad a fabulous Ford Explorer from the store that's been giving dads what they really want for decades.
Hi, Dad. I made this for you.
And here's you feeling pretty good.
Ta-ta, ta-ta-ta.
At the Cornews, they're almost giving it away. Every rug's on sale, every rug. At least 15% and up to 60% off all these floor prices. Big rugs like these, just $99, and thousands more from $6.95.
With your normal home loan, you could pay off your home in around 25 years. But with Money for Life from Bank SA, you could pay off your home in around 7 years. And that leaves plenty of time and money to have a family, buy a new car, extend the house, spend on the kids, maybe even see the world. Money for life.
The Bank of South Australians.
Football Park, a packed house, and a remarkable turnaround there by North Melbourne in the opening quarter. Carey and King have 2 goals for the Kangaroos. So at the first break, it's Adelaide 4-3-27, North Melbourne 6-9-45. Great atmosphere as we head back to Sandy, Lee and Mick on footy's home ground.
Yes, thank you, Craig, and Malcolm Blight having plenty to say at quarter time. And Dennis Pagan, you watched them train during the week. Mick, you were very impressed with North Melbourne. Said they looked very, very hot.
Oh, for sure, Sandy. They were very crisp the other night. They were well drilled, very regimented out in the training track, and they've brought that sort of ability into the game. So important to use the ball when you've got the opportunity. Down to you, Curls.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, I can't get the North Melbourne supporters much because I wasn't allowed anywhere near their group. Dennis Pagan, his guess was very pleased with that effort. And I think North Melbourne have shown that if you want to beat us, you've got to be prepared to play the full quarter, hard, tough, strong, direct footy with everybody putting in. The Crows opened brilliantly, as we saw, but then faded away under North's power. Malcolm Blight sat all his players down on the ground for some reason and gave them a good teacher's lecture that quarter.
Well, he's done some strange things in the past. Some have worked, some haven't. Curls, we'll see what happens this time as Ormond Allen kicks down towards the forward line. Piggott belts it towards the line defensively. It spins and it spins and it slides over the line.
What he has done at the start of this second quarter is got his own version of his 2-man forward line. He's pushed McLeod and Rashudo deep in as his full forward line. Pushed Modra right up towards half forward. So I guess when you got McLeod v Stevens and Rashudo v Simpson, that might just work for the Crows if they can get the ball to that part of the ground.
Here's Vardy towards Rashudo. And he marks 20 metres out. On an angle that will test him.
I think this will suit the Adelaide Crows. As you say, Lee, they have to win the ball in midfield to supply the likes of Rashudo and also McLeod, because no doubt their initial speed over the ground on the last line of defence could cause direct problems for their 2 opponents.
Dual All-Australian, 19 goals so far this season, but it's almost 50-50. 19 goals, 17 behinds. Let's see what he can do to start this second quarter. Another poster.
Just wobbling a fair bit, that post. That was had a bit of power in that kick, almost knocked it over.
No, it's only people like you who break behind posts.
Oh, yes, those were the days.
28 plays 45. David King brings it back into play towards a Freeborn. Ormond Allen smacks it away from him. Modra's out there too, but so too is Mickey Martin. And Mick wins it. Pokes it over the top towards Winston Abraham. He's beaten. And we'll see a throw-in on centre wing.
Good play by Pittman then. He knew if it was going to be a test of speed with him and Abraham, he was going to lose. So he just pushed his body in, just stopped Abraham's momentum and just left hand straight out of bounds. Lived his pride another day.
Roberts to Rock. He's taken out of the contest. Pass Smart and Archer. Carey scoops it out.
Had to be a throw.
Yeah.
Actually, it was zoned by the player, the umpire, who wasn't in the direct zone. Good umpiring. He had the front-on view of the actual throw.
Caven laterally. James is at half-back. And he's got 35 players in front of him. Kicks wide to the wing. Robran. Still with Robran. Allen there with him. Nigel Smart, a good tackle. Hart has it tapped back by Allen. He's able to get a kick up towards half forward. Mickey Martin came out once again with aggression. The only way he knows how to play. Straight over the top it goes and out the back. Carey comes charging at them. Oh, and he does beautifully. Freeborn, Garrard, short in towards Winston. Call the play on is Abraham, and so he does. In towards full forward. Rock is there. The race is on. Anthony Rock. Tyson Edwards. Well done, Tyson Edwards. And he's going to get a free kick. He was held.
Frustration then, I think, by Anthony Rock. He lost his footing and really gave away an unnecessary free kick and a 50-metre penalty, so I think Anthony Rock will be having a spell and interchange. Dennis Barton doesn't like those kind of undisciplined. Shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place. Certainly shouldn't have been a 15-metre penalty.
Tight opening to the second quarter, just one behind scored so far. Edwards goes to the run of Smart, and he'll be free kick. Now he's ahead of centre. It's a good kick. He's got Rashudo, Modra, Vardy, all down in that forward line. Oh, but
he's got telescopic arms, Byron Pickett. I mean, he really does look like the ball's going to just about float over his head, but just up go the loops. Big extension of the arms, almost marked the ball behind his head, which is not all that easy to do. Much easier in front of your eyes.
Good news for North fans, he re-signed in the last week. And he's had a sensational season. Sort of player who could do very well in the Norwich Rising Star. Goodwin on centre wing. Kicks to a congested half-forward line. Robrin tries to get some space. Cook was doing the roving work. Robrin's at the bottom. King goes in hard. Waiting out his Costa. Spins it back. Desperate work from Mickey Martin. Now he caught one. And it takes a lot to hurt Mick, but he's down behind play.
Yeah, it's just a knee to the head. Definitely Rashudo's knee. Totally accidental. You'll see his left knee, or right knee, was it? Make contact to
the ribs.
Maybe the ribs. Mickey Martin, but he's a tough nut. He'll certainly bounce back. He's been terrific tonight in actually leaving Modra and going to the contest.
Looks like a winded situation in the air coming out and you want it to come back in. Terrible feeling, isn't it? It's interesting, as this boundary throwing is taking place, I think Mickey will be okay. He'll just recover. But Peter Caitlin's ran Wayne Carey into the Crows' forward goal square. I think that's where he'd like to play all night if he had a choice.
Here's Pickett again. But straight down the throat of James, who gives it off to Smart. Now he can kick it from here. 55 metres. Away to the right. In towards Modra. Couldn't take it. McLeod. Caught by Archer. Gets the call over the back. And Cavan has stolen it. From behind.
I was going to say, as if that was a shocking error of judgment by Corey McKinnon, but it wasn't a shocking error of judgment. The ball right through for a behind. For a moment here, it looked like he thought, oh, I'll let it go.
I'll have a go at Coming.
Yes.
Actually, he's lucky he bounced over because the ball bounced inside the field of play.
Yeah, I think he would have been making sure it went through, not just hoping it was going to go through.
4-5 plays 6-9. Archer for the kick out. From the back pocket. Goes up towards Bell. With him is Hart. And Bell has a free kick.
It's interesting to see the Adelaide Crows are employing the man-on-man defensive zone on North Melbourne's kick-ins.
Mickey Martin is up and appears to be okay, so that's good news for North fans.
Well, it's interesting when the Crows decided to put McLeod and Rashudo, two of their very best midfielders, into the full forward line. You wonder how the midfield would go, because I thought they were struggling there in the first quarter, but just in this early part of the second quarter, the Crows midfielders started to actually have a bit of ascendancy.
Pittman with a high floater. Pickett a little too far underneath, but he's quick to recover. Pushes towards his teammate there in Scott, who's under real pressure. Wobbles it back towards the centre. Here's an opening now for Goodwin. Kicks it high, but not very far. And a courageous mark taken by Ellen.
I think the mismatch are a lot better in the midfield too, Lee. Costa's actually gone to David King. Brett James has come out of the actual midfield and more or less playing the conventional back pocket on Anthony Rock. I think it's suiting their structure a lot better.
Blood rule is going to take him off the ground and prevent him from completing the kick.
Broken nose, I suppose.
To be cruel as a fair-sized nose to break, I guess, but if Shane Allen wouldn't mind us saying that.
You're a hard man.
But there was a lot of blood there, yes. Bleeding very freely.
Yeah, the ironic boos went up around the ground, knowing that Jason McCartney, a ex-Adelaide Crow member, was the culprit there.
As the kick is about to be taken there by, I think Goodwin's got the ball, the Adelaide team forward of the ball have just set up a hole between the 50-metre mark and the goal square. Shannon Grant now dropping back to block that hole, so good structure both ways.
McLeod on the lead, but couldn't take it. Martin just stands and delivers a high one straight back towards Goodwin.
Yeah, he's a good defender, is Simon Goodwin. He's just got sure hands and he uses the ball so well coming out of defence for the Adelaide Crows.
Kicks it back inside 50. Pickett in front of the pack. Just cools everything down. So Shane Ellen receiving treatment on the sidelines for a slight nose problem as Bell flicks it in towards half forward. Tyson Edwards takes the mark. Well, he doesn't, and it could be dangerous here because Martin Pike is going to give it away to Winston. Tucks it under his arm, and away he goes, and he goes.
Missed.
Oh, Winston!
He missed.
Winston!
Well, that's what pressure's all about, Sandy, no doubt about that, because Edwards, he didn't look like he was going to catch him, but he got close enough. Have a look at this chase. He just gets close enough that Abrahams was really straining to get the front spot. Should have kicked the goal, but the pressure at least, the chase was rewarded then.
4-5 plays 6-10. James, a chance from half back now. Goals are hard to score in the second term. Robrin, it's a hard ball to take. Caven, bit of aerial ping pong. Carey slaps it forward. Beautifully done by Scott as he chips it back. And the mark is taken by King. He's between centre and right half forward. North Melbourne by 17 points. In he goes towards Abraham again. Couldn't take it. Roberts, it's beautifully smothered. Goodwin does well. He's picking up a ton of kicks. That was number 9. Jarman has been quiet. Cook is ridden into the ground. And the umpire will come in and take charge. Curls.
Got that injury report for you. It's a nasty one. The nose is split open. I'd say it's broken. He's down the rooms now. They're trying to do, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do something with it, I guess.
Well, I thought the only one with a swollen nose was the president.
Bleeding, I would have thought.
Yeah, let's hope it's going to be okay. Harvey ran into a brick wall, and the advantage is going to be paid to Robert Scott. Smart spoils, but danger here because Archer picks it up. Well done by Smart to go for the second attempt and spoil. But it's a dangerous time because Carey's got it. Around he swings. It's high and it's close for the King.
Your premiere Sunday movie's got action, adventure and romance.
This is our chance to seek some real fortune.
Gina Davis is the beautiful pirate.
This treasure is ours.
Matthew Modine is the ambitious gold digger.
It's about £4 million.
Together they make one hell of a partnership.
Let's finish this.
Fire! Load your weapons, summon your courage. The search for Cutthroat Island is on.
Bad dog.
Presented by Panasonic, Sunday 8:30 on 7.
3 goals to Wayne Carey.
And now it's interesting to see just before this centre bounce, Sandy, it's Andrew McLeod who's actually pushed back, paying behind Carey, being the loose man in defence.
Harvey working hard in the middle. It finishes with Robert Scott. North go charging forward again, but only temporarily because Nigel Smart has halted proceeding. Robert is coming off the ground as I speak, and Tyson is going back on. Pittman has it on the outer side. He gives it off to Connell. The Crows certainly need the next one now as Pittman takes the mark. Covering plenty of ground. He kicks down towards right half forward. Here's the Roo. Round the body. In towards full forward. McCartney with strength. And has been effective in recent weeks.
Yeah, he's been solid back there. Ian Fairley played centre-half back in their premiership year in '96, and Jason McCartney is filling just that tall defence-stopping type role.
Ormond Allen throws it out to Connell. Matty Connell's kick is high in towards half forward. McCartney was there once again. Scott comes over the top of Tyson and sock it out of the immediate danger zone back towards Connell at centre wing. He does well, but he needs help. He's looking round and can't find anyone. Shannon Grant holds it up with Glenn Freeborn, and there'll be a bounce. 29 plays 52 with under 12 minutes remaining in this first half.
Now we've got a situation, Mick Anthony Stevens has gone forward towards McLeod, so he'll just try and draw McLeod out from that slot around Carey and Caven.
Mark Stevens couldn't take it. Here's Roberts' kick down towards Carey. Look at McLeod. The dashing Andrew McLeod. Says, you want to see me go? Well, Carey watches him and he hangs on and he persists and he's got Stevens and Winston to help. Round the body, great kick, and the diving mark is taken by Shannon Brown.
Terrific pressure there also.
Well, mate, there's certainly over two with that handball.
Yep, another one on the board to North, this time by Harvey.
I'm just on my way downstairs. Hello? You're breaking up. How about now? You got me now?
I'm going to check the wiring.
Colleen?
I'm going to check the aircon. Then I'm going to fit half a dozen spots in here, so I'd say a couple of hours max.
Need clearer indoor reception in more places now?
No problemo.
Mobile net, and you can.
Useless mongrel! No, of course I didn't mean...
Adelaide early on led by 18 points. They're now trailing by 29. Wren warming up on the sidelines, about to come back. As we go into the middle with Pittman, who wins it to James. The Crows desperate for a goal in this second quarter. It's been a drought for them so far. Simpson at the bottom of the pack. Oh, Rashudo's getting a little frustrated. Careful, Roo.
Yes, I think Malcolm Blythe's decided that we can't afford to have, we being the Crows, can't afford to have Rashudo and McLeod deep in the forward line because they're just not getting enough of it further upfield. So now Vardy's the one-man forward line for, we see Rashudo. A bit of frustration, a bit of...
anger,
aggression, I guess, at it all.
Andrew Coates just having a few words with him too, Lee. Well, North at the moment have all the answers. They've got Mickey Martin leading in the race, and he does well. You'd hate him to be a bank manager, wouldn't you? You'd get nothing. McKernan. Ormond Allen takes him to ground. McKernan flicks it back towards Freeborn. Costa is there. Freeborn goes again to King. Long towards Carey and Archer. Archer and James. James tries to slam it towards Caven, but that's dangerous. Eventually, they run out of room.
Yeah, they're just so well drilled, North Melbourne. They're just awareness around the tight situation because they've always got numbers at the contest. They can just feed it off with hand, especially from ground level, so the player who receives the handball can be the designated kicker. They just kick to an area. They're just so disciplined in their approach and very simple.
In the right forward pocket, Carey. Well, he won't be able to get clear. That ball is held to him.
For this last, probably, certainly this whole quarter, Tony Modra has played up towards half forward. He's only had one kick. You'd hardly know he was out on the ground. One would wonder. I think he's going back now to the goal square to play the conventional full forward position. Quite possibly the Crows would be better with someone else if it was one of these half forward.
Look out. There's Winston. Sorry, Lee. Tries to bend one back.
It's just a shuffling of the deck chairs a little with Malcolm Blythe, the Crows at the moment, just trying to plug what is holes all over the field, really. They're not really doing that well in the midfield. They're not converting that well, so all of a sudden it's just shuffling the troops to see if they can get a better formula.
9.5 minutes left in the first half. Smart takes the mark from the kick in on the half-back flank. 8-11 plays 4-5. I think this 42,000 strong crowd tonight was hoping for some sort of a celebration, but they're not getting it yet. Smart from Stevens up against his old side. Nigel goes across the ground. Caven, look out because Stevens is a terrier and he'll pressure you all the way to the line. Curls.
Sandy, I don't know how you look seeing it up there, but down here, North Melbourne are much more direct. They're stronger at the ball, and their players are taking up the position, which I call the hot spot. They're likely to get hit and cleaned up, but they're more likely to find the ball as well.
I don't think anyone's arguing with you up here. From the throw-in, McLeod was there. Stevens also wobbles one down towards Ormond Allen, a little too wide, and it's over on the outer wing.
Certainly some very good players. Sean Rennie's been off the ground for much of this second term, but he's only had one hand pass for the game. Darren Jarman's only had a couple of touches. Maybe Jarman, give him a run in the midfield. Certainly Johnny Blake, he's got him under control at half-back.
Yeah, and Rashudo and also another key player in the midfield, McLeod. They've only had 7 possessions between them.
30-point margin if you've just tuned in. Here at Footy's home ground on 7, and it favours North Melbourne. This is Ormond Allen. A high kick towards Wren and McKernan. The latter is the effective spoiler. Scott runs around and bends it back towards centre wing. The race is on. Now let's see how Mickey Martin recovers. Go Mick as he tries to turn on Goodwin. Goodwin is taken out of it by Harvey, but it's been noticed. And Mick can't believe it.
There's certainly a free kick there. He got Goodwin off the line of the ball. Goodwin was once again very composed. He turned Martin inside out. There was the left hand who brought him off the line of the ball. Free kick certainly there.
Well disguised, but not quite well enough. Now Modra maybe with a fly.
Yes, he was looking to go the jump, but I think Mickey Martin was just trying to make sure that he established body contact and got himself out of position in the process. Yeah,
good call, Lee. He certainly went back hard to find the body of Modra. Just overbalanced, got himself out of balance. Modra read the flight of the ball that little bit better.
Tony Modra, 1 goal in the first quarter. Kicking from 35 metres, but almost directly in front. And hoping to kick Adelaide's first goal for the quarter. Which he does.
What's your favourite children's story?
3 Little Pigs. That's everyone's favourite.
Nonsense. Goldilocks. Oh, and the 3 bears.
Jack and the Beanstalk's best. Puss in Boots.
Little Red Riding Hood.
The Gingerbread Man. It's got to be Goldilocks, surely. Yeah, Goldilocks.
Yeah, not Goldilocks.
Why me?
New Cadbury Story Block. There's a story in every block.
And they all lived happily ever after.
5-5, plays 8-11. Modra, the only multiple scorer now for the Adelaide Crows. Closing in on the first half of
that was hard ball, wasn't it?
That's the question. Look at Anthony Stevens.
He came one way and he collected the ball, and the 2 Crows came the other way. That was a tight contest between those 3. They went tough. They were hard at it.
He's a tough nut to crack, though, is Anthony Stevens. Wonderful player. Costa caught at the bottom, and I'll tell you what, there's another bloke down there who's fairly hard at it, and he wears number 11 for North.
It's interesting, I think, at the ruck contest so far, one has to say that McKernan is actually jumping over the top of Wren in the centre bounce contest, which is certainly a good sign for North. The Crows would have hoped, in fact, Wren would be superior in the centre bounces.
Here's Bell down towards half forward. Ormond Allen doing the work from behind, runs out of room. So another throw-in on the outer side, slightly in North attacking zone.
We've seen young Harvey getting that loose ball out and getting the ball forward for North Melbourne. He's actually pushed up to the midfield, more or less playing as a 5th or 6th, maybe 7th midfielder. That's getting Brett James, his direct opponent, up the ground, therefore isolating Carey and Caven, one out in the forward 25, 30-metre area of the ground.
Mark Stevens having a good old tussle against his old side. He, of course, was involved in the swap with McCartney.
They've altered their structure a bit. North Arch has now gone back into defence, and Scholl up forward.
Well, look at this, Lee. This is Peter Bell. Caught! Oh, the tackling's been fantastic. The persistence has been great to watch. And we've got another throw in.
Yeah, he's too quick, Andrew McLeod. No doubt about that. He's pretty quick here, Peter Bell, but he's very quick, Andrew McLeod. And I guess when you're running with the ball, that certainly slows you down a yard or 2 curls.
Interesting one with Andrew Eccles for the Crows. Strained his leg in the warm-up, and he may not be available.
Oh, golly. Well, that's bad news for Eccles and the Adelaide Crows. Let's hope it's not as severe as first thought. Another bounce on the outer side. Full house here at Football Park. Over 40,000. The Crows looking for a spot in the top 4. To do that, they must win. They've got the West Coast in the West next week. McLeod hustling and bustling. Keeps it in play, however. Costa couldn't take it, but recovers. But he, too, is feeling the North pressure as it's socked off the ground and spins over the line.
I think the Adelaide Crows will be fairly happy with that little bit of passage of play. That's all you can do is gain some meterage in those tight, congested areas. You'll probably gain 100 metres or so just by getting the ball forward, not trying to invent handballs or just over-finesse in those tight situations, trying to find a forward on the way through.
Wren trying a roundhouse right. Blakey gets a high kick going back towards the half-back line. North through Stevens. Go towards centre wing. Carey runs into McLeod. Caven is there with him. And he's going to be pinged. Ball up down on the outer side.
Essentially, the Crows have actually had 5 more possessions than North, but the players they want with the ball aren't getting it. Rashudo's only had 4, Jarman's only had 2. So the type of players that really gives them McLeod 5, that give them some penetration, none of those are really touching the ball.
McKernan does well. Bell gives him support. Well, there's been a whistle. Yeah, it's going to come back to North.
Free kick to McKernan off the ball, saying he tackled when he got rid of the ball.
So from the back pocket, really, he kicks up towards centre wing, and that's wide. Too wide.
To stabilise the game a bit. It's going in patches a little bit, this game around the midfield. Certainly the Crows are having a good patch, but can't score at this point.
Hart's kick goes over the pack. Look at David King. This is a situation that he loves. A bit of a run. Crocker fell, but then was able to recover, poke it down in front of Harvey. Brent Harvey puts the foot on the accelerator, and away he goes, in towards half forward. Here he is there. There's no one at home. So he just pops it over the top, pokes them inside 50. One attempt to mark was not good enough for Grant. He'll have to go again. Smart, on the other hand, will hope to tidy up, and he does, because he's got Tyson loose on centre wing. Away goes Tyson. He had a marvellous start to the game. Gets around Harvey, kicks in towards half forward. Not a good kick. Not a good kick. McKernan spears it in towards the middle. Picked up for North Melbourne by Scholl. He goes to the forward line. Belted clear into the pocket. The race is on now. Connell is first to it. Kicks a short one up towards Stevens. Stevens has got a bit of time to whip it round his body. It's high. It's a floater. David King is the effective spoiler. Goodwin, however, takes the crumbs. Doesn't go very far. Straight back to David King, who's taken over the line by James. Just get the feeling that we've got a crucial 3.5 minutes now to half-time. If the Crows can get a couple, they're back. If North were to get a couple, the danger signs are really up for this home side. Tyson hurries a kick to centre wing. Good attempt to mark by Simpson. McKernan was out of bounds when he took that kick. So it'll come back for a throw-in on centre wing.
It's interesting now, the Adelaide Crows are trying to control their own starting points. It's Wren who's actually gone to the more or less the conventional centre-half forward position. McKernan's going with him, and Stevens using that his mobility against Mark Roberts. As we often see, Mark Roberts is used as the mobile ruckman to cover the ground and be the more or less a ruck rover type to find the possession and use it on the way through.
Roberts with the right hand. Bell does the roving. He's really able to swing it back a long way. Abraham hustled out of it. Costa at the bottom gets it out to Stevens. Back to Costa again. He took him on and he got beaten. King also got beaten. Abraham. It is tough and it's hard and it's uncompromising. He held it for a long time and finally it's over once more.
It is all of those things, Sandy. This is a hot football. I mean, both sides are really working hard. The defensive chasing and pressuring at close quarters has been really good. The very disciplined tackling, not giving away too many free kicks with being over-aggressive or over-desperate.
Rashudo's kick only as far as Grant, but his hand pass too goes astray. Connell to Costa, he was taken high. Ormanel by a great smother by Crocker. He'll go again, but so too will Costa. Look out, Matty Connell, you're in trouble. Harvey, it's a hot football. Now Winston's got it. He shrugs the tackle. Look out, they're coming from the side, Winston. That was McLeod, but he picks himself up. Goes again to Stevens. Smart, a great spoil. This is fantastic to watch. Nigel Smart's on the half-back line. He steadies it down and away he comes. Don't break that 10-minute. Up towards the half-forward.
This is speed, a wonderful asset. The speed of McLeod and Smart then created that turnover at half-back.
So back it comes in towards the middle. Hart and Smart were both flying. The umpire almost got in the way as Peter Bell just wobbles it towards the line. We'll need a spell in a minute. It's almost half-time, Curls.
Certainly do. As you can see from up there, there's a lot of panic kicking by the Crows there. They're just not lifting their eyes and planting their kicks to a man at all.
What about that pressure?
Oh,
a minute or so, just sensational from both teams, actually.
Under 2 minutes left. Roberts tries to squeeze it out. Tyson Edwards leads in the race. And they want a goal here in this last couple of minutes. Even if they could get one now. Goodwin has it at half-back. Sees everyone pretty well matched up, so goes for a bit of distance. Goes for Wren. He's got him in the middle of the ground. Sean Wren. Not good. Turnover, and it could prove costly. Crocker will lead in the race. He may have to soccer this. Crocker almost taken high. Oh, the hand pass was okay here. Scott goes towards goal, but he's off target. And one behind.
It's one of those games where the pressure on the ball carrier is just so intense that I think even when it's not quite there, the players are reacting as if it is. They just get that used to the opposition being there, and certainly the defensive chasing and pressure from both sides, I reckon, has been very good, particularly in this term.
Well, we see here the North Melbourne employing sort of more or less a half zone. There's about 3 outriders used on both sides of the ground. Every other player on the ground is manned up.
Hart goes to the outer side. He wants Wren, and he finds him, who in turn goes to Costa. Now, maybe this can start something for the Roo. A worm burner in towards the centre. Jarman has picked up only his second possession. Back he goes to Rashido. Caught! Play on, says the umpire, and so he does, and Martin Pike will send North into attack. Goodwin couldn't quite take the mark, but he gets away from Robert Scott initially. Wren gets the hand pass further afield. It's Hart who takes it from James. They've got low players loose now. Stevens is out on that outer side.
Good play by Pickett.
Sensational stuff. Overrun by Vardy. Carey. Pickett. Pickett towards the line, and it spins over.
What's Byron Pickett played all year? You can't believe he's only played one game prior to this season. He has just been a sensational player up in defence. Him playing so well back there has been able North to get King further up towards the midfield, but that desperation and speed to get below Stevens was just fantastic.
James at the bottom. Out it comes eventually to Harvey, who tucks it under his arm and scoots away towards centre wing. McKernan had it for a moment and lost it. So too did Wren. So Harvey will go again. Finds himself with a little bit of space. This is dangerous for the Adelaide Crows because North have a chance to surge it inside 50. It's inside there now. But there's the siren. And it's half-time here at Football Park. And Lee, what a half we've seen.
Well, I think what the Crows would have been pleased with is they pretty much blunted North Melbourne's scoring in that quarter. So at least they stabilised the situation a little bit. It wasn't sort of a great quarter by them. They certainly did lost further ground on the scoreboard, but I thought they at least tightened up the game a little bit. Certainly in that first turn, North had 15 scoring shots, and they were just in control. But so a little bit better quarter by the Crows, but fair margin to make up in this second half.
Yes, great first half here at Football Park. 25 points, but it can be made up, Lee. North are 8-12, Adelaide 5-5.
From 7 Nightly News, here's Shirley Harris with tonight's weather.
Hello, I hope you're enjoying the football. Our forecast is for another cool day with scattered showers easing during the day. And there is a strong wind warning for the south central and southeast coast. On local waters, west to southwest winds moderating overnight down to 7 to 12 knots. In the city, a few showers with long fine breaks and a top of 14 degrees. We're looking ahead fine and mild for the rest of the working week, warming up to 23 next Saturday.
Girlfriend cooked dinner again last night.
McDonald's new massive McMuffin, the biggest McMuffin ever.
Say no to GST. Say no to grotty sheets and towels. Out with the old and in with the new. No GST, no grotty sheets and towels. Say yes to a minimum of 10% off, up to 70% off everything. Make this cool cover set $11.95. This $29. This $39. Make this $49. Our new season stocks are arriving soon. All of our old stock out of here. All of our sheets are discounted. These, half price. Flannelette sheets, take another $10 off. Look, Canning Vale towels, $15 off. Pan towels, $2. Face washes, $1. Quilts, quilt and more quilts. Say yes, yes, yes to our GST. This is our greatest sale to date.
12 Burbridge Road, Mile End.
Pursuing optimum screen quality with GoldenEye. LG is captured life on screen. LG GoldenEye Swing. Pursuing perfection. LG Electronics. He's one of the greatest songwriters in music history. Now, Bob Dylan returns to Australia, performing the songs that changed the face of music, including this year's Grammy Award-winning Album of the Year, Time Out of Mind.
Sick of love, and I'm in the thick of
Bob
it.
Dylan live with special guest Patti Smith, Adelaide Entertainment Centre, Monday, August 24. Tickets on sale now.
You must remember this.
As time goes by, you realise just how much he really means to you and just how much you need to say thank you.
As time goes by.
Shepherd's Jewelers, unforgettable.
Wide, and it's Mercedes. Lovely little left foot kick by Joe Mercedes. Has found Kelly Ryan at centre-half forward within 35 metres. And the chance for Kelly Ryan, who's been a very good player for the Bombers tonight. And she kicks cruelly. A long goal for the Bombers. A tight struggle here at the end.
With an ANZ Visa footy card, you can score points with your favourite team.
The Bombers have the ascendancy presently. Gee, this is going to make it interesting now.
100% Australian grain-fed beef, slow-cooked in a unique process, then seared on the char grill. For the best steak in town, it's Hog's Breath Prime Rib. A different style for every day of the week. Hog's Breath Prime Rib, the best a steak can get.
Well, half-time now at Football Park. The crowd enjoying a cup of tea. And North have led at every change in this clash of the Titans in Adelaide. North Melbourne at half-time, 8-12-60. Carey with 3 goals. Lead the reigning premier 5-5-35. Modra with 2 for Adelaide. As we go back, here's Lee Matthews.
Yes, thank Craig. Well, I thought in that second quarter that the Crows stabilised a little North, even though they're further behind on the scoreboard. I thought the game changed a bit.
Yeah, it certainly did, Lee. I think the midfield of Adelaide, they tried to work it around. They got Rashudo forward. They had to get him back to midfield, try to get him and McLeod into the action, also Jarman. But they certainly need a lift from their players as we look at the first quarter highlights. It's a great game of pressure at this stage. You know, the times you get the chance to kick goals, you have to kick them.
Well, certainly Tony Modra, who's only had a couple of kicks, but certainly has kicked a couple of goals early on when the Crows were really looking strong. That's the classic full forward leading to the spot. And he does leap very high from the front spot and a very, very accurate kick.
They were just so precise in the early stages of the game, as we see here. Once the game tightened up and King got off that pack, he's sort of penetrating. As we know, he runs directly at that 50-metre line. He kicks the ball with so much penetration, especially on the burst. Just an exciting player to watch.
Certainly, as we mentioned during the call, with Byron Pickett in defence and King up towards the midfield, North just look a quicker team. And, of course, Winston Abraham, well, he stumbled for 10 metres, but when he eventually got his balance, wasn't just a tremendous left foot finish.
Just terrific poise.
He's a very, very classy play. He'd have a very big highlights tape.
And this is a terrific play here, not only by Wayne Carey who kicked the goal, but Shannon Grant ran hard to his direct opponent Caven to keep him off the chase. Just balanced, used the wind, gave the ball enough flight and elevation to basically let the wind do the talking. Terrific penetrating goal.
And we certainly see here, you want your quick players to chase as well as run with the ball, and McLeod certainly did that, created the turnover with his speed. It's interesting, isn't it? There's not a great deal in the stats. In fact, I guess a couple for Adelaide in front. But I think, as we said during the call, there were Shudos and the Jarmans, the really penetrating players, and McLeod. They're not getting much of the ball, despite Adelaide as a team getting plenty of it.
I think that's indicative on the inside 50s. Those players you mentioned, 22 times to 35. If they get a lot of the ball, they'll more often than not put the supply into their forward 50.
And I think that tackling stat, 23 tackles to North, I think their defensive pressure has just been that little bit better. But it's a great game of football between two very classy teams. We'll go to a short break and we're back with more.
I've been looking for traces of the life I dream I'll have. Been in some wide open spaces, wondering what it'd be like to be me. Somewhere, there's a place for me
If you're a young person who's wondering what to do in life, these are just some of the ways the federal government is helping you to gain new skills and experience and get into a job. There's support for 120,000 new apprenticeships in the next year alone. Call now for this free booklet.
There's a place for me.
Authorised by N. Minchin, Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
It's August. What a ripper of a month at Truscott Hi-Fi. Tear into Truscott's for Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. We've torn strips off the price of this Hitachi LCD camcorder. Rip into this LG 68cm AV stereo TV plus 6-head VCR and get a free cabinet. Or tear in for this Pioneer 240-watt Dolby ProLogic Mini Hi-Fi. August, what an absolute ripper of a month at Truscott's. Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
Tired of that? Well, try this. This week only, 30 to 50% off with 6 months interest-free. Try this, or this, or this, and the lowest price or it's free. Discount Lounge Centre, 90 Main South Road, Ranella, Discount City, Parafield, and 23 Anzac Highway, Keswick.
The Clay's Coggan Street, Brompton is now open Sundays. Hundreds of rolls of carpet discounted up to half price. Part rolls, remnants even less. Vinyls discounted up to half price. Rolls and remnants, rugs and runners. McClay's Coggan Street, Brompton now open Sundays.
Know how to make Dad's Father's Day? You get Home Hardware's new Father's Day Dog-a-Log, which is full of great gifts like this Butte 12-in-1 multi-function tool, a bargain at only $14.95. Or you can get Dad this ever-ready Red Alert torch with bonus second battery for just $9.95. If you want to fire up Dad for Father's Day, just get into Home.
Get the know-how.
In Home Hardware's Father's Day Dog-a-Log. Out now.
If you've got a nose for a bargain, right now Beaumont Tiles are selling out a great range of remnants, job lots and superseded stock from just $11.95 a metre. $11.95. Come on in, nose around and save.
Yes!
Beaumont Tiles, 200 Grove Street and discount tile warehouses just about everywhere.
It's a tense moment. Will our Visa card holder from Manly win Sydney 2000 Olympic Games tickets? The wallet's out and he's going for another card. Oh, beautiful finger flick. And yes, there's the Visa card. Look at that. Let's see that again. The dummy to the other card fooled everyone and then that beautiful move. Fabulous. Use your Visa card and you could be eligible to win tickets to the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. Out with your Visa and you're in with a chance.
All Tim's ever heard is...
Take it down, take it down.
But Sunday...
I am turning you loose.
Has Jill flipped?
I want something much, much bigger!
It's every handyman's dream, every wife's nightmare. Home Improvement at 7:30. And then at 8, if you want to get ahead in the office...
Promote yourself, generate some hype.
How about a fake job offer?
So you're saying I should bluff?
But what would the boss say?
You're gonna be missed.
Fred Savage.
I got 2 weeks, then I'm out on the street.
Working after Home Improvement Sunday on 7.
So recapping the first half, North Melbourne 8-12-60 leading the Crows by 25 points, 5-5-35. Kerry has 3 for the Kangaroos, King 2, and singles to Archer, Harvey and Abraham. Modra has 2 for the Crows, singles to Jarman, Tyson and Vardy. Sandy, get those boxing gloves on. Keep punching.
One at a time, oh great cattle rancher, Craig Willis. One at a time. We've got Scotty Palmer coming up shortly. But Craig, first up, a Mitsubishi moment. And tonight, let's spend it with one man who's involved in tonight's game, Malcolm Blythe.
Malcolm Blythe, it's a big kick. It's a massive kick.
It's probably the most remarkable finish in modern football. One man kicking 3 goals in time on to steal the game. At Princes Park in 1976, Malcolm Blythe twice goaled in the dying seconds to put North within a point of Carlton. Then on the siren, he marked again.
I was going back and going, oh, what will I do here? And whether it be a drop punt or a torpedo, I'm screwy. And Keith Craig said, why don't you just try and kick the bloody thing? You know, I mean, it was quite a funny little line. So it actually diffused it. I hit it probably as well as you'd ever hit one.
The Blues were sunk and Blythe was chaired from the ground. The Roos had won by 5 points. Malcolm Blythe, another Mitsubishi memorable moment.
Yes, that's what coaching does to you, Lee. You tend to lose your hair. Just ask Malcolm Blythe there, but a fantastic Mitsubishi moment with Malcolm Blythe in days gone by. Time now to welcome Scott Palmer of the Sunday Herald Sun. They have the big stories. And Scotty, you've got it tomorrow. And the big one concerns our very own Lethal Lee Matthews.
Yes, our big story today is that Lethal Lee actually met the Brisbane officials last night to talk over that coaching job up in Brisbane.
Andrew Island. They met at the offices of Jeff Brown. I'm not too sure what was discussed, Andy, but I tell you what.
He's got his microphone on here and he's listening, so you can ask him if you like.
If Lee was at the MCG today and saw the Lions go round, he's got some worries, I tell you.
What was the story with that melee in the warm-up?
Well, they came out at before the match. Richmond ran through their banner, ran into the Lions team running its lap, and there was all to do. 44 players involved, only 2 reported, Aaron James and Nigel Lappin for wrestling. But I tell you what, Richmond are concerned about it because it will be the subject of an investigation. And with the big Melbourne match coming up and the finals the week after, they wouldn't want to lose anyone, Sandy, or be fined.
Lee's just sitting here looking at that, shaking his head at the monitor. Roger Merritt, if he doesn't get the top job, he still wants to stay?
Well, he wants the top job. You can tell Lee that. He's going to put in for it. He wants it. He reckons he's put enough work in there. He's devoted to the club. But he would accept the assistant's job if it went to another bloke of Lee Standing, perhaps.
OK, then we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Let's turn our attention down to Moorabbin. Robert Harvey, big day today. He's celebrating a birthday. His wife has too. And what, 200? 200
games, yes. He said that win was the best win for the year. He was magnificent today. 26 kicks, 9 hand passes, 3 Brownlow votes for sure. And he said after the problems of the week with the Nicky Winmar saga, he said normally the Saints might have disintegrated. But he said we love each other, we care about each other down there, and we played as a unit today, and you just see what happens.
Scotty, you make it sound like a Mills Boone novel. What about Darryl Wakeland, though? He had some pretty bad news from a couple of fronts.
Yeah, he copped a bad one today, very badly concussed. He might not be able to play next week, of course, but I tell you what, he was also reported for charging Brett Heddy. So Darryl's got a big week ahead of him, and I'm not too sure how Stan's going to react too, because he wouldn't like to lose that good backman of his. Mickey Malthouse said that the West Coast Eagles just can't put sides away. He said we've lost 9 games by less than 19 points, and he said, you know, we deserve to be where we are on the ladder.
So you're saying, or he's saying, they don't deserve a top 4 spot?
He's saying that in Mickey Malthouse terms, Sand.
You said, did you, that Nicky Winmar, should he leave St Kilda, will retire from footy, he won't play for another club?
That's what he said. He got 20 kicks for the reserves today. He said, I just hope they don't sack me because I'll retire. I don't want to play with any other club.
Scotty, just in closing, Monday Night Football returns to 7 with Melbourne playing Sydney. Sydney trained today with drama.
A shocking injury. Stephen Carey ran through the centre of the SCG, slipped on the cricket wicket, broke his ankle, but apart from breaking his ankle, injured the joint of the ankle, will have surgery tomorrow, be out for 10 weeks.
That's shocking news for Stephen. Scotty, thanks for that.
Keep on punching, Sandy.
I will, and I'm sure you will too. Scotty Palmer, as we take a break here from Football Park. If you've just tuned in, it's North Melbourne leading at half-time by 25 points.
Give me the game I love. Give me the game I love. Give me the game I love.
The kick out into the path of Bruce. He crashes past the tackler, then sets it up for Kelly. The bounce, it's favourable for the skipper. And pass over the top. Oh, not having to change stride as Banks, and he slots it through. Magnificent goal to the Swans, kicked by Banks. He's beaten 3, but what
With an ANZ Visa footy card, you can score points with your favourite team.
Sensational play by the Swans, set up by their captain, Paul.
Unconfirmed reports indicate that another 4 Aussies are on a Coca-Cola Ultimate End of Season AFL tour, this time in South America.
They were last seen in this hotel room. The evidence is overwhelming. It appears we have just missed them. The Coca-Cola is still cold. And all they had to do to win was collect 4 tokens.
Let's go live to Paulo Souza at the Mardi Gras.
We have not actually seen the boys ourselves.
The Coca-Cola Ultimate End of Season AFL tour. To enter, just collect 4 tokens from specially marked packs of Coca-Cola.
We've got a huge backyard at the back there. We've got the off-street parking. Did I mention the polished floorboards? Of course, there's also the beautiful open living areas. They've got a wonderful kitchen. Oh yes, let's not forget the natural gas central heating. Now, the lucky person that purchases this property today, I can assure you, yes, we'll get to the bidding in a moment, sir. What we ask for this property is...
Here's 4 great rail escapes from Australian Rail Travel Centre. Each holiday includes rail travel, 3 nights accommodation, sightseeing and a return flight with Ansett. 6 days all-inclusive to Perth from only $890. Melbourne on the Overland from $455, Sydney on the Indian Pacific from $720, or Alice Springs on the legendary Ghan from only $690. Remember, all holidays include rail and air travel, accommodation and touring. Book now at Australian Rail Travel Centre. Phone 8231 4366.
How's this for a package deal? Carpet 3 rooms in this great level loop style, only $499. That includes underlay. 32.5 square metres of carpet. No extras to pay. Love it.
You'll love it at the Cornu.
For a limited time only, you can get 2 large Hawaiian Pizza Haven pizzas for $9.90. All you have to do is pick them up.
Who ordered the large Hawaii?
For your Pizza Haven, call up Pizza Haven tonight.
The Falcon Run-Out's on its final lap, with the last shipments of current model Falcons being delivered to dealers. GLIs and Futuras, some still with air, alloys, cruise control and electric windows at no cost, plus massive run-out bonuses. You'll save thousands across the range, but stocks are limited and these prices may never be repeated. You can't afford to miss the biggest run-out sale of the year. The Falcon Run-Out. They're going fast, and once they've gone, that's it.
Tuesday. Imagine losing someone you love because of the actions of someone you hate.
Sounds a bit tricky, this op.
Don't worry, I'm looking after you. As a nurse, does Brom have the right to interfere?
How dare you accuse me of playing games with patients?
Why else would he cancel at the last minute? Or is she crossing a fine line?
Keep your personal stuff at home. I've had it.
And just as the dust begins to settle,
What a day.
another nurse will lose a loved one.
She's arrested.
There's blood, don't touch it.
Get up! All Saints, Tuesday, 8:30 on 7.
In a moment, the third quarter from Football Park. It's North Melbourne leading at half-time by 25 points, 8-12-60 to 5-5-35. Should be an interesting third term. Welcome to our St George Bank Trivia Quiz, a feature of Saturday Night Football here on Channel 7. And our last week's winner was Mark Newton of Devonport, Tasmania. And the question named the only player to win the Norm Smith medal for the best on ground in the grand final on 2 occasions. The answer, of course, Gary Ayres of Hawthorn. Now, if you'd like to win $2,000 in the St George savings account, ring this number, 1902 555 995, and answer this question. Before Robert Harvey, who was the last St Kilda player to win the Brownlow medal? 1902 555 995, and we'll be taking callers until 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning with the St George Bank Trivia Quiz, part of Saturday Night Footy. Back to Football Park. Sandals.
Versatile, Craig. He's not doing voiceover. He's answering the phone. But thanks, Craig. 25 points is the margin here. Scotty Palmer had plenty to say about you at half-time. You've got nothing to add to that, Lee?
What is there to add? Scotty knows it all. Hey,
yeah,
all you got to do is separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you what the wheat is and what the chaff is.
Isn't that a practice line?
Let's quickly go down to the boundary line. Curls.
Yeah, thanks, Rose. I think Lee hit it on the head that the Crows at least did put a break on North Melbourne in the last half of that quarter. But the North Melbourne boys, they're much stronger and cleaner in and around the packs. Not only are they getting the ball, but they're getting it out with nice clean work to runners on the side.
25 points the margin as we go into the second half here at Football Park. It's round 21, and the Crows are desperate for the first goal of this second half. Rashudo is going to give them the chance.
It's interesting to see the restructuring the Adelaide Crows forward line. Rashudo actually started at centre-half forward, and him alongside his direct opponent Simpson with Modra and Martin in the goal square, the only 4 players in the Adelaide Crows forward 50-metre area. Obviously, they're trying to isolate Rashudo to get him involved in this contest.
Yes, it's been a pretty quiet night for him so far, but he certainly hasn't been on his own. He kicks from 50 metres, he sprays it to the right.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you look at 2 players and their relative heights. The media guide says that, the AFL guide that is, that Simpson's 185 centimetres and Rashudo's 182. But you tend to think of Rashudo as a sort of a taller, stronger marking player than Simpson.
Shannon Grant gives it to Mick Martin. Copped a heavy one in the first half, but he's okay, Mick. Carey down towards Anthony Stevens. Simpson sees it stolen. Tyson Edwards couldn't take it. Good work by Scott, who goes again, but this time pulls it too far and it's out of bounds on the floor.
And notes that Sean Wren actually started this third quarter on interchange. I guess we'll get Curls to check. I don't think he was injured. I think Malcolm Light sees to have just preferred Pittman in the ruck.
Hart from centre wing towards McLeod. Rashudo a hand, but that was all. Carey a fist, and he gains 15 metres.
I thought that was an interesting call also, because I thought Sean Wren over the last 3 or 4 minutes of that second quarter, there he is on screen.
Yeah.
I thought he was just starting to get involved in the contest. He was sort of leading McKernan to the ball, and I thought the signs were fairly positive.
Stevens. Well, it's a hot ball, isn't it? Plenty want it, but only a few are able to get it at the moment. Martin Pike takes it over the line.
Yeah, we see Robin actually pushing up to the ground, knowing that McCartney may not be able to have the ability or mobility to keep with him. He's more or less playing as a second ruck rover alongside Mark Stephen, who's the designated ruckman at this stage against Roberts for North Melbourne.
They're just playing one-on-one, aren't they? Stevens is going with Roberts and Pittman going with McKernan. I guess Pittman and McKernan will do the centre bounce ruck work, but then McKernan is trying to then play as a centre half forward. I guess one thing about Pittman as a ruckman, he's proved that he can play pretty competently as a tall defender.
Roberts edged out of it. Simpson, a hurried kick back towards centre wing. Jarman ran into Archer. That's a good mark taken by Tyson. He had a marvellous start to the game, but has been considerably quieter since that opening term, and that is not a good kick. Abraham sneaks away. Back towards centre wing. At the back is McKernan. Got a call from Simpson, but Tyson was there. He's locked up by Harvey, who slams it to the line. Crows screaming for deliberate.
It's a dangerous ball hitting the hand pass backwards to a blind call when you're not exactly certain. It's one thing if you're facing backwards and give it to a player facing goal, but McKernan hand pass 5 metres backwards. They're lucky to get out of trouble in North.
Ormond Allen trying to set something up out of the middle. Robrin off to Vardy, another one to Goodwin. He's on the left foot, but it's not a good kick. He chips it. Well, he'll say it was a pass, and a beauty too to McLeod, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
That was just a superior leg speed, I think, Mick, wasn't it? When the ball went up in the air here, I think McLeod just was able to make the extra yard to get on the end of it.
And already we start to see the influence of Robin around the midfield. He just has that great ability to read the play in that part of the ground, whereas Jason McCartney, that area is a little bit foreign to him.
Well, don't write the Crows off yet. If he can kick this and cut this margin, but he too is off target. So a couple of early opportunities going begging here for Adelaide.
Who would you prefer in the running ruck situation, Mick? Mark Roberts or Mark Stevens?
I think Mark Roberts, because he's done it so often.
Yeah.
I just think he reads the play so well, reads the lines. I think it'll suit North Melbourne structure at this stage.
Oh, Stevens, pinpoint accuracy to Archer, and he's paid the mark on centre wing. Glenn Archer, 6 kicks. Looks towards Mickey Martin. Oh, Mick got in the air, but he couldn't take the mark. Robrin held it for a long time. Vardy takes them on, then puts Ormond Allen under pressure. Well tackled by Harvey. Robrin goes again. Pike's over the top of him, and we'll have a bounce on centre wing.
It's interesting as this ruck contest is taking place. Corey McKernan is alone at centre half forward, and Pittman is alone at centre half forward. They've just gone to opposite ends, and it's, well, McCartney's going back to take Pittman. So this leaves McKernan on his own. Let's watch this play. This will be interesting.
From the throw-in, James is caught. Taken high, said the umpire.
Yeah, that was good play there by McCartney, who actually went to Pittman off the ball there, merely because around a congested area, when there's sort of 17, 18 players, percentages say you're not going to win the ball, so you might as well do something productive for the team.
Jarman tries to get out to Hardy, gets it off to Goodwin. Here's a go for the left footer. How's his accuracy this time? That's
Everything's big in the state of Texas, even Foster's. But if Billy Roy Pickett knew that every time he enjoyed a Foster's, he'd be helping our Australian athletes compete against the US of A at the Sydney 2000 Olympics, he'd feel downright unpatriotic. God bless America.
.17 margin now at Football Park on Saturday Night Football here on 7. McKernan went early, Pittman watched him and then slapped it. Blakey tried to go wider. Jarman's trying to get into this game. He kicks it down towards Rashudo. They've both been quiet, but he sneaks away from Simpson. Pulls it round the body to Marty. Should have held it. Robert Scott desperately tries to get the hand pass out. Costa had it spent a little early. Goodwin throws it out. The snap, it's high, but it's wide. And it is one behind.
The challenge is on a bit here, isn't it?
You can sort of sense that the Adelaide Crows, this is a real effort to get back involved in this contest. They're really running extremely hard across the ground. All players are trying to get involved.
Pike. Back to a 16-point margin. Robin tried to soccer off the ground. He's got McLeod behind him. He's got players screaming for it in that forward zone. Here's a chance for Stevens. Great smother by Pickett.
Wasn't it a good play then by Bell? He actually had two Crows players and he was able to contest the mark sufficiently without giving away the free kick, and then Pickett got there. It was a Crows player alone over the top, of course, but didn't get there.
They edge behind closer. Grant with the kick out. Robin the spoiler. Stevens hurriedly gets boot to ball. That's Anthony as we go down to the boundary line. Curls.
Yeah, some players that were missing in the Crows lineup in the first half are starting to find a bit of footy. McLeod, Rashudo and Jarman.
And Curls, Red isn't injured, is he?
No, he's not injured.
No.
Roberts tumbles a puck up towards centre wing. Caven sees it over. Yes, you get the feeling the challenge has been put to the Crows at half-time.
I think it's also good to see Darren Jarman up in the midfield trying to break the tag from Blakey. He's been very good in the defensive role. Get him involved in the contest some way.
Bell around the body into half-forward. Carey.
Did he read the flight of that quick?
Oh, he chips it towards Abraham. Can he get there or will it sit for him? Sneaks away from Tyson Edwards. Swings it round the body and puts through behind.
Geez, don't they flood into that forward 50 when Carey comes forward and marks the ball just outside 50, just outside kicking distance, and they just swarm back in and he just pops it over the top.
Hart to Connell, who'll chip away to Tyson on half-back. Mark Roberts on the mark.
He actually manned the mark exceptionally well then because there was a player free and Stevens further on the field.
McKernan and Pittman.
Marked by Archer.
Side.
That's just the typical Archer mark, isn't it? Just
coming back with the fly.
Third or fourth up. That's the trademark Glenn Archer mark.
Into the middle he goes. David King. Danger here. He's got Blakey. Johnny Blakey looks down towards half-forward towards Carey. Used the body, but well done, Caven. Well done.
That's always encouraging to see, Sandy, knowing the defender. He's had 3 goals kicked on him, but to see him still approach the flight of the ball in the manner he did, that's terrific team-building stuff.
He seems to all night to have tried very hard to play in front to make sure at least he takes the front position.
Good kick to Vardy. Vardy went up to Goodwin. He couldn't quite take it on the half volley.
One of those things I think you say about when they play against Carey, Mick, that the opponent has to try and get at the ball, because as soon as Carey's got him in a body contest, you've just got to keep trying to get your hands on the ball. Most effective way to spoil.
Pittman did that on that occasion, getting a hand to the ball and forcing yet another throw. Crows next week head west.
Now you'll see the ruckman Pittman against the non-ruckman in Roberts, because McKernan's pushed back to be the spare defender.
Roberts does provide the contest, then goes again. He's taken high and is not free kick. The play on is called. Abraham down towards the half-forward line. Here's Tyson again. Kicking long up towards left half-forward. Robert Scott sees it over.
Well, for a very free-scoring team, North certainly haven't obviously scored a goal in this first half of this third quarter, but it dried up towards the latter part of the second quarter. So all of a sudden, this Crows defence, which is the meanest in the competition in terms of conceding goals or scores, is actually doing its job.
It certainly is, yes, because North is the heaviest scoring team in the league. James' hand pass is going to be okay. Down towards Robert. He couldn't quite get a flick at it, but Peter Vardy can. In towards full forward, towards Modra and Martin. Tucked in the pocket. Modra takes it over.
Is that on the foot?
I think he tried very hard to knock it back onto Mickey Martin's boot.
Oh, line ball.
It was a line ball, whether it went over an inch or two above the grass.
16 points the margin. North leads. 13 minutes remaining. Robran. McLeod looking for some magic. Taken away by King, and he spirals a punt. He's gained 55 metres. And look at that one-hander from Carey. But he's a long way from home. He kicks to half forward. Archer's his man. And pound for pound, he's a player this point. Glenn Archer on right half forward. Winston. Spoiled by Jarman. Does it beautifully to Hart.
Yeah, that's terrific play there by Jarman. Didn't sort of make the contact on Abrahams, but had the ability to recover and very poised to find Hart on the way out.
Well, Robin comes charging at that ball.
Very hard to spoil, effectively coming with the flight of the ball in those marking contests. Did it well, didn't he?
On left half forward, here's Vardy. He's 55 out, and where's Mudra? Right there with Mickey Martin, and Pickett's there to defend. A little toe poke towards Peter Bell. Bell can't keep it in.
I think one thing we underestimate, is the athletic ability of Mick Martin on the lead. He is much more quick than he looks.
Don't forget live and kicking on a Wednesday at 9:30. Tony Lockett, the special guest, and by then he could have kicked another century of goals in a season. Ormond Allen off the ground. David King defends. Again, he pumps it long, but only as far as Stevens. Stevens' kick is a floater. Crows having plenty of the ball, but they're having trouble scoring. They've kicked 1-4 in this second half. North Melbourne, they've kicked only one behind. Tyson's kick in towards right half forward. That was to Pittman, but again it's King lurking. Poking it away in front of Harvey and pushing it over the line.
Well, in a situation like that, when Stevens actually changed direction, so important for Tyson to get the ball forward, because all of a sudden you've missed that congested area, and that's when the forwards have just got to charge up the ground and be a target on the lead.
Fascinating arm wrestle at the moment, Curls, isn't it?
Yes, even though the Crows are threatening, North are holding. And of course they've got the ability to go forward and find this chappie and score the quick goal.
Well, here's a chance now. Pike can take the hand pass, and he does. Martin Pike is 50 out. Pokes it in towards full forward. Going back with the flight of the ball was Grant. He couldn't take it. He recovers the Shannon Grant. This is grand play by the young man. And well done, Shannon Grant.
Sunday, live on 7, Fremantle tackle Port.
Fred playing a very good mark.
Two fascinating teams crammed with stars of the future. The Dockers face the Power for more great footy action live 1:30 Sunday.
So, you want to get ahead in the office?
Promote yourself. Generate some hype.
How about a fake job offer?
So you're saying I should bluff?
But what would the boss say?
You're going to be missed.
Fred Savage.
I got 2 weeks, then I'm out on the street.
Working Sunday, 8 o'clock on 7.
So North again holds sway. Out to a 22-point margin. Few thrusts, but when they do, they are successful, the Roos. Pike has it at half forward once again. Bell is going past. Jarman rides him into the ground and loses the football. Archer is caught. A cry of ball, and there will be a bounce.
It's interesting, just at the moment, North have actually put, they had Scholl and now Freeborn in the goal square. I've got a feeling they're trying to get Nigel Smart very, very deep in defence. They're certainly trying to get him away from halfback, North, I suspect. So there's no drive, because Smart was bouncing off there pretty well in the first half.
On the ball!
Harvey is off for North Melbourne and Rock is on. Jarman appears to be suffering slightly. Bell, he did it well. Backpedals to Simpson. This is a dangerous bounce. Carey and Smart, the race is on. Two fine athletes. And it's Nigel Smart finding the line.
Was that Smart play? He knew exactly what he wanted to do, Nigel Smart, but he hit it across the line or along the line, and then no problems at all. Up in the midfield now, Darren Jarman.
And
it's pretty sore.
He's not too comfortable. However, play goes on. Look at that hand pass. Chances it snapped towards goal. And popped through for one behind by Shannon Grant. Grant, who kicked that marvellous goal just a few minutes ago. Hart again heads to the outer side. To be accurate, and he was to Tyson Edwards.
One thing the Adelaide Crows are usually very efficient in is getting the ball out of the forward area from the opposition's team. Tonight they've really struggled in actually having some sort of penetration.
25 points was the margin at half-time. It's now 23. Connell has it and he kicks up over the centre once again. The Crows desperately needing a couple in succession to really make a go of it. Hart takes on David King. That's a big ask. Rashudo almost kicking in danger. Back to Hart again. Pickett tries to cut across. It doesn't matter because he's got Mickey Martin there as well. Martin kicks it high towards McKernan and Pittman. Ormond Allen is there also, and he's taken to the line. Wren about to come back on.
Gee, Mickey Martin plays the angle so well for fullback. He just knows the area of the ground to come at. It was just terrific defensive play on that occasion.
I reckon you should have stats of how many goals have been kicked on fullbacks. We do it for how many goals full forwards kick. Almost should know exactly how many have been kicked against certain fullbacks.
Mick would know.
Mick might know. I'm sure Mick would know. Let's make them public so we all know. But certainly not too many goals kicked on Mickey Martin in the last year or two.
He's about as mean as they come up in that defensive zone. Stevens, a hurried kick down towards McLeod. Quickly on towards full forward. Now a chance for Vardy. Gets the hand pass away. Here's an opportunity for Tyson. Tyson flicks to Goodwin. Goodwin! Goals!
Mitsubishi Pajero, perfectly adapted to Australian conditions.
2 goals this quarter to Simon Goodwin. 7 now to Adelaide. McKernan goes early against Wren. Back out on the ground. Carey in the middle too, but it's the Crows who go forward towards Vardy and co. Tyson is there also. Off he goes to Edwards, who flicks it in towards the pocket, towards Peter Vardy and Robrin. Both are snuck down there. Robrin gets caught, and the ball is taken over the line. In front of the scoreboard, the small scoreboard here at Football Park, it shows an attendance of 43,296. Total sellout and a live coverage you're seeing on 7 throughout South Australia. Tyson Edwards gets the hand pass.
Sort of sense the Adelaide Crows are certainly coming here, Lee. They are surging forward now, getting goals at the contest, which North Melbourne were doing predominantly for that first half.
Well, they've largely just dried up North scoring, haven't they? I mean, they've succeeded in stopping North scoring, essentially, from that midway point of the second quarter. Now they've just got to try and see if they can get it ticking.
It's interesting to see, actually, as that passage of play was occurring, Freeborn's come off the ground. Capuano's coming back onto the ground, going the ruck against Pittman. McKernan's actually gone to full forward on Nigel Smart.
This is the closest they've been for a fair while. 11 points the margin. And they go surging forward again. Down towards full forward. Modro couldn't take it. Pickett towards the line. Scott there for assistance to Pickett. Clever kick, but it's Jarman for the moment who kept it in play.
Geez, that was terrific.
That's a big call, I reckon, by Dennis Payton, to sort of have the 2 big guys on the ground at the one time. Now you've got McKernan forward on Smart. Well, it'll be a question of whether McKernan can take a mark, Mick, because if he doesn't, Smart will be charging up the other end of the field.
Goodwin slaps it on to McLeod. Here goes the Norm Smith medalist. He's threatening to light the fire, Andrew McLeod.
Well, he's the boy you want with the football, no doubt about that, Andrew McLeod. When he's getting the ball, the Crows always look dangerous.
McCartney off, that's the booing you can hear. They have memories here, and Scholl is on.
Well, because of that, Archer's actually, who started this quarter across half forward, he's been pushed back to the defensive post on Rodburn. We see Scholl coming on the ground to go to the full forward, the conventional full forward spot picked up by Hart.
10-point ball game. Archer in the thick of things. Out it comes from the back door to Rashudo from a standing start. He pumps it high and long. Pickett.
It was interesting, all the Adelaide forwards just watched the ball in flight then. They didn't really push to the contest to make it a contest against Byron Pickett.
And the young man's away. Heading towards Roberts, the outer side. An accurate kick. Was able to keep Connell at bay and in turn find Martin Pike. Pike's been pretty quiet tonight, just 6 kicks. McKernan a little too far underneath it. Carey read it beautifully.
Terrific judgment.
Well, we'll be able to see if North can reply now. Carey goes long and into the pocket. He wants McKernan, but Smart is there in front of him. Throw it in. Right forward pocket for North Melbourne. There's Dennis Pagan. 7 straight wins to North Melbourne. Prolific scorers. And rightly so, favourites again. Now here's trouble. Scholl. Scholl needs help. Takes on about 5 of them. And eventually it's Jarman who'll just chip it out into the back pocket and find Matty Cobb. So they're successfully holding North at the moment. Connell goes towards half-back. Rodburn was the target. King's got Rashudo, and he dumps him.
Yes, I think all of a sudden Rashudo, Jarman and McLeod, you're starting to see that they're out on the field there and just starting to get involved in the game. They're the 3 players, they're the most penetrating players I think the Crows possess.
Rashudo saying, "Did you see that?" No, how about Kingy? Wren doing the ruck work. Rock is between Wren and a hard place.
Just the other one they need to start getting in the goal-scoring action is Peter Vardy. He and Modra tend to be playing as the essential strike forwards for the Crows, but Pickett's had Vardy under pretty good control, I think.
High tackle on Wren. Gives him only his 2nd kick for the night. Almost the one-hander to Archer. Scott tidies up and steals it. Then Rashudo rides him into the ground.
Well, no advantage here. I think that's the reason why the ball will be called back.
Blakey's loose at half-back and can go. John Blakey, the veteran of this North Melbourne side, kicks in towards half-forward. Smart came over the top, a fraction too early. Thrown out to Capuano. Now Roberts as it was smothered off Capuano's boot. That's clever.
Well, it was just a couple of smothers, wasn't it? Which way was the ball going to go? It was just some good defensive work all round.
Smart initially sort of did that initial smother, and his direct opponent finishes with the ball. He went to the contest. Corey McKernan just drifted back into the hole.
They need this North. They're not getting a lot of scoring opportunities the longer this game tends to progress.
And his kicking has been a problem over the last couple of weeks for Corey McKernan.
The Roos have kicked only 1 goal, 2 so far in this quarter, and Corey, I'm afraid, has added another behind.
I think the signs were there last Friday night. I think the North Melbourne team were very happy with McKernan. He actually took some jumping marks, which he hasn't done all year. His judgment just hasn't been there. Once he got the ball, he sort of wasted it with his field kicking, and obviously that's a greater concern also when you're going to mark the ball inside forward 50. You have to kick goals.
9-15, 24 effective scoring shots to 18. They lead by 11 points, and we've got 4 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Blakey. Johnny Blakey. In towards right half forward. He wants Rock, but Costa is there with him. Grant meets him and just deflects him over the line.
As you spoke about Peter Vardy, he's certainly been well held by Byron Pickett, but I think also, Lee, at times tonight, he just hasn't had the sure hands that we've sort of know Peter Vardy had, whether that's because of the psychological pressure imposed by the North Melbourne team.
Grant finds Bell, who goes down towards Roberts. He's tucked in a tight angle. Going to be tough here as Ormond Allen tries to sucker off the ground, but he's gone out on the full. North will get another chance.
I think that's always low percentage in that part of the ground to kick the ball, because more often than not it gets a little bit of elevation.
Shannon Grant. Well, that was a poor kick.
It opens it up when you go from back pocket really to the set-up back position. The Crows now, their field's open to them down the centre corridor.
Oh, it was, but Anthony Rock might have something to say here. So too Glenn Archer. as they close it up, and there'll be a bounce.
Great skill to watch the ball in the middle of the pack when bodies are going everywhere. Gren Archer just does it beautifully. Just keep your eye on the ball no matter where the bodies are. Watch it around legs. Terrific interception there by Anthony Rock. Set up what ended up a drawn ball.
North by 11 points. Roberts, but straight to Rashudo. He gains 15 metres. The breeze, not a factor to any one end here at Football Park tonight. We have had intermittent showers. It's been okay so far in game time. Here's James towards centre wing. Goodwin, King, Abraham, Stevens. Simpson almost threw it to Roberts. He's got Peter Bell back to Roberts. From centre wing down towards half forward. Centering kick has to be good. Blakey dropped it. Plays on. Rock picks it up. It's a high ball into the forward line. The contest is on now, and so is the race. Carey leads in it. Caven's right on his hammer. Carey off to Scott. He gets claimed. Tries to give it off to Freeborn. He's taken over the line by Costa.
This is an unbelievably tight game. The pressure that has been on in this entire game has now made players very, very tentative with their ball handling. They always know there's going to be a player there to tackle, so every kick that's being earned is a contested one. Very few easy kicks to be had here.
2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Peter Bell spears a worm burner into half forward. It ricochets off towards McKernan. Back to Winston Abraham. He gives it off to Blakey, who's been quiet. Blakey bends it back for North Melbourne and pops through another behind.
Possibly going to come down to the line as the team that's hard enough for long enough lead, knowing that both sides are really relentless in their defensive approach, and they've got the opportunity to kick the goals. They have to go through.
James from the kick out. There's no rest either, is there? Adelaide's got West Coast next week, and North Melbourne have got the Bulldogs. But they're only concerned about tonight at the moment. Tyson is caught, but not before he gives it to Rashudo. Another one to McLeod. Look out, McLeod. The Wizard is clear. Spears it in towards Modric and Martin.
Free kick, Martin.
No free kick, Mick, I'm afraid. Blakey on the last line of defence. Wobbles it. Tyson will be first to it if he can keep it in play. Under pressure. He does. He kicks it back towards Blakey. Vardy is there as well. He's claimed. Ripped to the ground. And there'll be a bounce.
Yeah, North have got the lead, and of course a 12-point lead in a tight game is where you would like to be, but I've got a feeling it's who can handle the pressure and remain composed and not make a couple of those just bad errors under pressure.
Stevens, a short one. Capuano could have been held. The umpire says go on with it, so Tyson does. Off to McLeod, he gets another chance. Shrugs the tackle, eludes one, can't elude two. Wren goes back to Stevens. It's a rainmaker, a high ball into half forward. Vardy couldn't take it. Was he ripped off the ball?
Well, it certainly was.
Yes, and I think that's almost the situation. That was a free kick that didn't need to be paid because he wasn't going to mark the ball, Vardy, but Pickett in his desperation and endeavour has just given away this vital free kick 30 metres out, and they're the kind of little things that are going to quite probably determine this game because neither side really looks like breaking the game open and kicking, a whole lot of goals quickly.
1 minute remaining. 2 goals the margin. And Peter Vardy, who kicked one in the opening term, and the Adelaide Crows kicked the first 3 of the match in that blistering opening, has a chance to cut it to 6 points, and he does. He's got his second.
Yeah, they had a couple of opportunities when they certainly worked forward, but once McLeod gets hold of the ball, he certainly creates something out of nothing. He was in traffic there, but he released the handball, as we see here, inside to Wren, who quickly got the ball back to Stevens. Just had to get the ball forward. That's what he did, got the ball to that hotspot area of the ground. And as we see Byron Pickett, he does love a body contact. On that occasion, he didn't have to give away the free kick. There's a result. Vardy goal.
Oh, That's what coaching's all about, Lee. Just enjoying yourself. Consider that, my friend, as Malcolm Blight's down for the three-quarter time address. North, pump it out in the middle, down towards Carey. They've got time to reply. Carey could have almost got a shot from Caven. He goes again, though, Peter Caven. He could have been a leg.
That's a terrific line at the a ball by Caven. Actually getting rewarded for the free kick. Head over the ball, watch the ball into his hands, kept possession. Terrific play.
16 seconds left, so it should make it fairly safe for the Adelaide Crows. They can mount a thrust in the final term, although Abraham drops it. Well, that's what pressure can do, maybe. It's socket off the ground by Ormond Allen. King and Tyson. David King chops his way clear, but he's run out of time. And North had opportunities there. They couldn't take them. And the Crows have closed the gap. We've got a one-game, one-kick all game.
No doubt about that, yeah. 4 goals, 5 for the quarter from the Crows. They were the team that was doing the scoring. All of a sudden, 1 goal, 4 from North. They've done very little scoring now since midway through the second term. So certainly the Crows, with the momentum and with the home crowd to cheer them home, there's going to be a fantastic final 30 minutes coming up.
It was interesting that quarter, Lee. 4 of the goals that they kicked actually came from handballs received. It wasn't that they've had marking players in their forward 50 put some scoreboard pressure on North.
The word is out, do not leave your seat. Buckle up, because we're coming home with a big quarter here at Football Park.
Girlfriend cooked dinner again last night.
McDonald's new massive McMuffin, the biggest McMuffin ever.
We're about to show you a benefit of Magna's exterior aerodynamics. A quiet interior. The Mitsubishi Magna V6. The most aerodynamic Australian-built car. It'll blow the competition away.
When my mate went overseas, I promised I'd keep him up to speed with the footy. Lucky I'm with Smart Chat. Now, he was leaving Auckland on Tuesday, staying 3 days in Naples. That means he should be in Athens. Nobby, we won by 27. 14-8 to 10-5. 2 meat pies and a bit of biff in the third quarter. Hooroo.
In the next 15 seconds, I can give you 68 reasons for shopping at Truscott Hi-Fi. And here they all are. 68 centimetres of quality Toshiba stereo TV for this low price. Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
OK. Can you read the fourth line for me? P-O-K-T. Keep going, right to the bottom. O-T-Z-M-L. P-D-R-S-O-C. S-R-C-E-T-D-P. Good.
Made in Australia. Printed by Jerry's Printing. Your watch is a Rolex. It's water resistant to 100 metres, but it's a fake. There's only one L in Rolex.
All my life, whatever I do. Modern China's on the move. They're even brewing Fosters here. But mate, if Chung Lee knew that every time he enjoyed a Foster's, he was helping our Australian athletes compete against China at the Sydney 2000 Olympics, I think he'd have a pretty big decision to make. Thanks, China.
Your premiere Sunday movie's got action, adventure and romance.
This is our chance to seek some real fortune.
Gina Davis, Matthew Modine in Search of the Land of Riches. Cutthroat Island, Sunday 8:30 on 7. At At last it's here. Monday, 8:30 on 7. Ally McBeal begins. The year's most anticipated new series starts with a 2-hour premiere.
Did I miss anything?
Ally McBeal, Monday, 8:30.
Well, a crowd of 43,000 loving every moment of this contest at Football Park at three-quarter time. North 9:16.70 to the Crows 9:10.64. Get set for a big final term. Back in a moment with Sandy and the team. A reminder about Talking Footy, Monday nights, 11:15 in Melbourne, 11:30 Tasmania, 11:45 Adelaide and Perth. Check your local guides. And on the couch this Monday night, Ian Collins, the General Manager of Football Operations for the Australian Football League. A man not backward in coming forward. And some stations will see that straight after the Melbourne versus Sydney game. Should be a ripping night. Monday night footy followed by Talking Footy. Let's talk footy in the final quarter, Sandy. Hope you're enjoying this match in the 1998 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
Yes, thank you, Craig. The Crow-meter is registering quite high as we're about to start this final term. Before we do, let's go down to the boundary. Curls, can they get up?
Well, I think the momentum is with Adelaide, but of course they need one hard, big, strong quarter. North Melbourne certainly won't give in. They won't give it to them. They're a very tough side. Their players just hit the ball hard and move it on. But I think the Crows have won the last quarter and a half. And if they can keep continuing that type of footy, well, they could get up. But this is going to be one tough quarter of football, this one.
Yes, looking forward to this. This is going to be a belter.
And Sandy in at the centre bounce there. We've got the two biggest ruck rovers I've ever seen. Rodwood and McCartney are actually opposed to each other as part of that on-ball brigade in there.
North have actually pushed Archer forward alongside Wayne Carey. Nigel Smart's right up the ground, more or less playing as a half forward or a floating midfielder, opposed to David King.
So here we go, the final quarter. Saturday night football on 7. Round 21 continues. North by a slender margin. One kick. Grant in the middle, ripped to the ground. Game tackle. Pittman a good one.
And the tallest player on the Crows forward line is Modra, probably at full forward, Rashudo and Jarman. Certainly the medium-sized marking players, but they've gone away from their conventional key position types.
Tony Modra, 2 goals tonight. Here's David King chopping his way clear. Down towards half forward. Carey tries to get loose from Caven, who's worn him like a glove. Abraham has felt the heat in the kitchen here tonight. It's out half forward with Goodwin defending. Gets the hand pass away, and that is good too. They'll come out of trouble through Connell up towards centre wing, and Tyson takes the mark.
Important ball then won by the Crows in defence.
Kicks up towards half forward. King's sat on his rump. Pittman. Costa at the 50. His hand pass. McLeod somehow gets boot to ball. Straight up and down. Pittman slams it towards the scoring zone. Pike has been quiet. McLeod tries to keep it in play. And eventually it's Pickett. Takes it over for one behind.
Yes, we've mentioned a couple of times just how good the Crows' defence has been statistically all year. And North certainly cracked them in the first quarter. But thereafter, this Crows' defence has really shut North Melbourne down. And that ball that was won at half-back was indicative of the way they've played down there.
Mickey Martin taken out of the contest, and it will be free kick.
Just the height factor on that occasion. Martin certainly had the inches on Kim Costa. Costa tried to make a contest of it, but certainly interfered with Martin.
From half-back, Nick kicks it towards centre wing. Carey is at the back, can't get a run, and has given away the free kick. He can't believe it, but Caven has it.
One thing about this Pagan panic, you can certainly change direction. You just got to have the overlapping players to run to the space on the outer wing.
McKernan, the spoiler. Grant gets a bad bounce, so too does Connell. Freeborn does well as he gives it to Scott, who pumps it from a standing start down towards half forward. Carey and Caven again. There's been a whistle. Another free kick has gone the way of the Adelaide Crows. This time it'll be taken by Tyson Edwards.
And once again, it wasn't the umpire in charge of the area. It was the midfield zone umpire.
Edwards kicks down towards that region now. Pittman, McKernan and co. Tyson in trouble. Blakey gets a hurried kick. Most kicks here tonight are hurried because the pressure has been so intense. Jarman has got Carey. Caven has got the football. Spears it in towards the forward line, towards Modra and Martin. Now in towards the pocket. Pickett does well. Off to Simpson. Somehow gets boot the ball and round the body he goes to the defensive 50. They're not out of trouble yet. Costa couldn't take it. Peter Bell picks it up. Pumps it back towards the centre. Abraham, clever tap on out the back door. It's almost down to their 50. Archer and Hart, two fine players. Hart pushes towards the line on the outer side. There'll be a throw-in.
Fine defence again, wasn't it? Interesting that match-up now with Hart on Archer. Certainly Hart's probably got the speed advantage, but in the body strength, I wonder whether Hart would be as strong as Smart if it comes down to that against Archer.
Hart's kick is smothered initially. The smothering in this game by both sides tonight has been fantastic. Robin and Archer are underneath Shannon Grant. Crowd of over 42,000. No one has moved. 5 points the margin.
Bloodwell looks like Robin, is it?
Yep.
And Jason McCartney is coming a long way with him. He's not going to follow him right to the boundary line, although I think he'd want to be thinking about doing that because depending upon, well, Sean Wren's coming on, so I guess the match-up of having a McCartney for Wren, interesting given that Robin came out, but Malcolm Blythe decided to put Hyde on rather than another smaller player.
And you think Lee Wren would actually go forward to bring McCartney with him. Hopefully this height might be an advantage. Pittman, who's actually back there across centre forward with McKernan, I think that setup would probably suit him better.
Early in the final term, over 16 minutes remaining. Abraham hand pass is okay to Rock. He goes down towards Carey. Sensational control.
He's played about as well as you can expect someone to play on Caven, on Carey Caven, but just a few of those. And this is the captain's goal, should we use that term? And Carey's kicked many goals from out around the 50-metre mark, and you won't have too many that are going to have too much more result on the game than this one.
3 in the first half, 2 of those in the first quarter. He's kicking from 52 metres. It's a high drop punt. It's going to be very close. I think he's kicked it. Great goal.
Tôi đến Old Trafford bởi vì tôi phát giác ra một tiếng động rất là kỳ cục ở cái máy xe của tôi. Nó kêu tích tích tích. Tôi nói cho họ biết điều đó và họ bảo là cái bộ phận tappers đang có một chút trở ngại. Tôi cần cái xe của tôi sửa trong một ngày, nhưng họ chỉ sửa mất có vài tiếng đồng hồ thôi. They are that good. They understand.
Four goals to Wayne Carey, following up his bag of 8 last week. And again, the visitors have just a touch of breathing space.
It's interesting where Andrew McLeod started free on the back of the centre square, and as soon as a North Melbourne player saw him lining up there, one of the players that lined up in the wing would just hightail it from wing to forward pocket just to try and get a cheap goal if the ball happened to go there and McLeod didn't pick him up. So players have to be so aware of each other's positioning, don't they? And North reacted well.
It was Pickett who slapped that down to the half-forward line. North Melbourne go forward again. Penetrating kick by Freeborn. Carey off the ground. One behind.
Again, he did a good job, didn't he, really, Caven? He was caught cold. He was in a difficult situation. I guess he just didn't quite take the fingertip mark, but certainly the desperation to get there to Drew to behind.
Actually went over the mark, I think. The reason why the ball has been brought back.
Well, a dangerous time now for the Crows. The margin out to 12 points.
Interesting, McKernan's not going forward. I would reckon is this a situation, yeah, and Carey is actually waving him forward, I reckon, because this is a situation where you want your main ruckman competing at the end of your forward goal square.
It's just going to be conceded by Peter Caven. .13-point margin. Jarman bringing it back in. He's had a quiet night, just 4 kicks. Wren is off the ground, by the way, and Robin has come back on. And this could be dangerous because McCartney has taken that mark just outside 50.
Yeah, that was terrific play there by McCartney because Stevens actually ran from the centre corridor extremely hard to make a target for James to kick to. As we see him coming from the left of screen, McCartney just got in between him and the line of the ball.
Not going for goal, trying a centering kick towards Carey, who was in that pack. Bell is at the front of it, and he is rammed into the ground. The little man will pick himself up. He's been pretty busy tonight.
The crowd's starting to get involved. They know this minute or two, another goal to North would make it real tough.
Roberts, Hart, Archer, line ball, and umpire Gavin Dorr comes in to take charge as Wren continues to warm the bench again. Roberts again. Carey applies the tackle, holds it up.
It's an interesting call, isn't it, by Malcolm Blight to actually, for most of the game, stick with Pittman instead of Wren. Pittman's only had 3 possessions, so he's certainly not actually getting the ball. It's a big call, I reckon, to Wren, who's acknowledged as one of the best ruckmen in the game, to spend more of the time on the bench.
Look at this. Carey to McKernan, and it's a goal.
Okay, now, my top 5, no particular order. Adelaide, West Coast, Brisbane Lions, Sydney Swans, Port Power.
Always Victoria.
Across the border, mate.
Brutally honest, footy up close in the Advertiser. Don't miss the footy lift out every Monday and Friday for all the AFL and SANFL news, previews and reviews from the experts who are up close to footy. In the Advertiser, today's newspaper.
65 plays 84, North again, stretch. The Adelaide Crows, and just maybe the first 3 quarters are starting to take their toll, but maybe not as Smart sends them forward, down towards the half-forward line. They need one smartly. Tyson takes it from Vardy. Tyson into the open goal. It's still here. Tyson gets his second.
Yeah, that's the ideal reply if they're going to stay involved in this contest. Obviously, it just goes to show the importance of the centre breaks. It was the Adelaide Crows on that occasion that got the ball forward. Just the weight of numbers there. Smart just got the ball forward. Good contest here by Tyson. Good percentage spot there by Vardy to get front and square to the contest. Release the ball into the path of Tyson, who ran into an easy goal. Good handball, good finish. The Crows are still in it.
13 points, 13 minutes. McKernan on the ball again. Out of the middle, important, Shannon Grant. Down towards Freeborn. It needs a kind bounce. Ormond Allen sockers off the ground. Well, probably wasn't the angle he wanted. But we've got to throw in on North Melbourne's left half-forward flank.
Just didn't realise that Freeborn had gone to ground, really, and he probably could have had the time to pick it up. But this pressure we've spoken about all day, players aren't expecting to have too much time to do anything, and they're really just playing very much the defensive percentages.
Roberts around the body. Here comes Carey once again. Here he is, a snap. It wobbles across the face this time, just spinning the wrong way. But even the odd behind in a tight contest like this can be very handy. 14 points. Curls.
Yeah, well, North just keep coming at you. They just don't give in. And, of course, you've got that big winner at centre-half forward. You can just go there and you know damn well he's going to get 50% of them.
Hart again. Goes to the outer side. Big mark required. Pittman gets a hand pass away to James. He's got Rashudo running. Maybe this time they can set something up. Theroux goes through centre wing. A worm burner into half forward. Difficult one for Vardy to control. And they've claimed him. The hand pass is shot out. Stevens is a long way from home. He wobbles it in towards goal. He's kicked it against his own side.
Whatever I do, I know in my heart I'll never be far apart from you. Though the years roll by, you'll see me through and be with me
Crows will not be denied. The blood rule has come into effect with Glenn Archer.
And in fact, Mark Stevens is now picking up Carey. I think he just actually came off Carey then from centre-half back, took the punt to come forward with the flow of the ball and got rewarded as the goal kicker.
And that means Caven's also gone to Roberts, just on the outer back flank there for the Adelaide Crows team.
Suddenly we're back to an 8-point ball game. Archer, treatment to his jaw, and we go back to the action in the middle. McKernan beaten. This one out of the middle important. James straight up in the air and down again. Pickett tries to belt it back, so too does Goodwin to accommodate Connell. Matty Connell, former club champion, is claimed. Robren in for the assist off to Costa. Kim Costa into the pocket.
Fair to say also, Lee, I think the Adelaide team have got the greater ability to just generate some sort of run into their play. They seem to find space far better than the North Melbourne team at this stage.
Edwards plays on. And goals!
Just because you're apart doesn't mean you can't stay close. Telstra STD economy rates start from as little as 5 cents a minute, depending on where you call. It's just one of the ways we're making it easier for your voice to reach the people you love.
How's the shopping? Sensational.
Tyson Edwards gets his first. 3 goals to 2 in this final term to Adelaide's advantage. What a finish. James tries to get the hand pass going in the middle. Costa can't get clear. There'll be another bounce.
I guess maybe this call is Pittman is a better body player. His ruck technique in the centre square is actually to really jump into McKernan's body. Maybe this is the why it's felt to be more effective than their main #1 ruckman, Sean Wren.
Archer is back on the ground. North need the next goal. Hart is loose for the Crows. He's on half-back. No one comes at him, so he can go long. Down towards half-forward. Towards Robren. Couldn't take the mark. Rashudo has crashed to the ground. Pike tries to lock it up. Costa can't get out the back door. Robren goes again. A short little kick. Goodwin on all fours. Tries to pick himself up. Back to Costa. The Crows are relentless. He goes in towards full forward. And steadying it down is Corey McKernan. 2 points the margin. North Melbourne leads. A thriller here at Football Park. Pickett. Well done by Pickett. Off to Grant. He in turn finds Stevens. Anthony Stevens goes down to half forward. There's holding on galore. Kerry was looking round for the umpire. Couldn't find him anywhere. Stevens picks it up. Pumps it high and long towards half back. And there'll be a throw-in.
Looked a bit fresher in the run of the ball there, Stevens, than Carey, I thought.
Well, he certainly covered the ground fairly quickly. Got the ball out of the danger zone.
10.5 minutes remaining. Time not a factor at the moment. Bell, pressured by Robren and Archer. A patched up Glenn Archer sees it over the line.
Well, as soon as Archer came back on the ground, he went to the defensive post. The area of the ground he's so familiar with to pick up Robren. Craig Scholl's gone forward, picked up by Ben Hart.
On the outer wing here at Footy Park, Costa's hand pass is smothered. David King, he loves doing this, just tucking it under the arm and running. And away he goes. If it sits for Carey, he can soccer off the ground. Slaps it forward and eventually taken over by Hart for one behind.
Yes, I think Dennis Pagan decided that in that midfield running role, Archer probably better suited than McCartney. That's the instant decision that you're going to make from the coach's box, and I think he's made it.
Tyson Edwards.
He can carry the footy a long way too.
He can, although Scholl is giving chase now. Kicks towards centre wing, towards Nigel Smart. Right there with him is David King.
I think Martin Pike has actually been put on to Goodwin as well. He's been the main possession getter for the Crows. Goodwin had 22. Martin Pike being given the defensive role in there.
Pittman's hand pass goes straight to King, who slaps it back towards the middle. Pickett was there, so too Harvey had a fresh air shot.
It was interesting at that passage of play then that it's always indecisive from the player's point of view. Do you allow the bloke running away from the goal to pick up the ground level ball, or on that occasion should you elect Costa to pick up the ball and wait for the overlap from on the way through? You just see the indecision from the Adelaide players to which one was going to pick up the ball.
43,296 here tonight. And I've only seen 3 elderly ladies leave. Freeborn down towards Carey.
Yeah, just turn him inside out.
He did, yes. We've talked about it all the time. When defenders have to come back, they're used to actually running with the lead, and providing you can actually keep with the leading player, you know, it's not that hard to spoil. But when you're coming back with the flight of the ball, particularly on a guy with Carey's judgment and body strength, very tough.
This for number 5 for Carey. Goes close to the man on the mark, and he puts it straight through the middle.
Here's a dad who knows just what he doesn't want for Father's Day.
Dad?
Yes,
Have you had the tape measure?
and here's a specialist who knows exactly what kind of toys your dad really wants. And here's the Toys for the Boys catalogue, and the chance to win Dad a fabulous Ford Explorer from the store that's been giving dads what they really want for decades.
Hi, Dad. I made this for you.
And here's you feeling pretty good.
13 goals in 2 weeks for Wayne Carey. 8 last week, 5 so far tonight. Again, a little bit of breathing space for North, but it's certainly not over yet. 9 points is the margin as Caven picks it up and kicks to half forward. The Crows have had the ability to offer the quick reply. There could have been some holding on there, but it's gone unnoticed by the man in white. And there'll be a bounce 30 metres out from Adelaide's scoring zone. What a fantastic build-up we're having as we head towards the 98 finals campaign. Modra and Martin and Scott. Here's a chance. They snap. It's high! And not so. Nigel has done it.
Yeah, terrific work there by Modra. Actually, he just kept the body free from making the actual contact to Martin so he could have an access with his hands to keep the ball alive. As we see here, he just kept his backside into Martin, just so he could allow his hands to be free to get the tunnel ball out to Nigel Smart, who was obviously in his vision demanding the footy. That's a quality finish there from Smart, who's been pushed up the ground while he's playing as a winger on David King. Found the ideal time to push forward. The result was he put it through. The Crows are certainly still alive.
From the middle, it's Pittman. Kindo gives it away to Peter Bell. Wobbles one up towards half forward. Blakey was able to push it down to Harvey. Scholl now. And it's Scholl, centering kick in towards Carey. Couldn't take it. McKernan at the back will go. He just cruises in and he slams it through.
He was ambushed in front of his home. Who killed this loving father? And why?
There must be monsters. Is this what's coming to our country?
Help a family find justice. Australia's Most Wanted, Monday. At the New Time, Tuesday, 9:30.
We do what we have to do.
Why is Bobby making his own client see red?
Why didn't you alter your behavior? I don't know. You don't know? I don't know!
The Practice at the New Time, Tuesday, 9:30.
Well, the Crows have had the ability to make up 1, but they've got to make up 2, and time is starting to become a factor. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Rob Roon, hand pass is okay to Smart, but he almost kicked into his teammate's bottom. King rigged into the ground by Smart, and there'll be a bounce.
Got a feeling the umpire crossed his mind was that a holding the ball.
I reckon
he almost put the whistle to his mouth, but I think he decided in the end hadn't had enough time.
Pittman off, Wren on, by the way, and
Wren's got to be fresh.
Gone straight into the thick of things, and he's picked up a free kick. He wants the advantage. He's going to come back.
Now, why isn't that advantage?
I think the umpire must not have thought it was, I guess, Mick, was it?
Well, it ran into the path of James, and he picked up the loose ball while it's still in motion.
This time he goes. Oh, that's a good kick.
Probably a better result, anyway.
Peter Vardy. 45-degree angle, 45 metres out.
They just keep coming, Adelaide. They just can't get over the line in front of North Melbourne, but North are just so resilient in their approach.
They've got you on your edge of your seat, Mick.
Oh, have they? What? Been a terrific contest.
48 metres, actually. It's not coming back enough. One behind. Girls.
Yeah, as I said before, the big difference between the two sides is Carey, they've got a man they know they can go to, whereas the Crows have got to try and work the other avenues.
Back into play. Scholl couldn't take on the half volley. Martin now has got to tidy up. Modra, he was right into his back and has got to get a free kick.
It was out of bounds on the full anyway from North's point of view, but yeah, free kick paid to Modra.
Long way from home.
Brent can be used in midfield just to change direction a bit.
He's got Nigel Smart and Robran. Bounce is not a good one. It's okay for Smart, but then he runs into a brick wall, patterns it out to McLeod, enjoys this sort of situation. Smart under pressure, gives it away to Jarman. He's been desperately quiet, taken high. Well, it's amazing, isn't it? It's going to come back to Jarman.
It's going to be a long kick.
5 kicks.
Remember when they were slaying St Kilda a month ago? He kicked 2 goals for me down the opposite end. He'll run out to his right and hook the ball back. You know, yeah, that's what he'll do.
Ball, no.
Yep. It's a fair kick.
Didn't quite make it.
He sort of didn't hit it right, did he?
No, didn't quite. Yeah. But his favourite kicking motion when he tries to kick the ball long distances to go out to his right, and it just seemed to get more power when you hook the ball marginally, and certainly Jarman does.
There are 2 players that probably stand out in that particular regard as Jarman, also Nathan Buckley.
Yeah.
7-point ball game. David King. Look out, Sean Wren's there. He couldn't take the mark. Costa takes them on. Now Roberts. Pike has been pretty quiet. He's claimed. A cry of ball, but no. Back to Jarman again. Hurried left foot kick is high. All crows. Was touched. So play on. James does. Bends it back. And it's there.
Hit the post.
Ooh.
They were doing the high fives back to the centre of the ground, but Brett James couldn't believe it, but the goal umpires adjudicated that it grazed the post. Interesting, when playing man-to-man in this kick-in defence as the Crows are, North aren't drilled to really bunch and run the space.
Nigel Smart in the background here is probably free.
Oh. Straight towards Wren again with a mighty punch. He belts it down. Archer almost threw it out. Leads towards the line and take it over.
Whoa!
There's a big call.
It is a big call. And someone's free forward too.
And plays on into the pocket. Vardy's there. Pickett is there. The boundary line's close. Pickett wobbles it backwards. It's going to be okay as it's picked up by Shannon Grant. Connell is in front, and he got one. He was pushed. He'll take a free kick, but he's 65 metres out. There's one straight kick the difference. Matty Connell plays on. Into full forward. They need a mark.
Against Jarman. In the back of Blakey.
Blakey will steady it down.
There's no running players for North really flaring to try and change direction out of defence at the moment. They're just
it's 50 though.
50-metre penalty against Jarman.
One thing you don't need at this stage of the game.
Well, all of a sudden, a lot of the players now are going to very quickly get caught behind the ball if Blakey runs and kicks it quickly.
Here is Blakey going over the centre. Penetrating kick. One out duel. Stevens and Carey. Ricochets back towards the centre. Oh, Pavin's hand pass. Almost caught them asleep. Pike tries to wobble it forward to accommodate McKernan. Stevens is there working hard for the Crows. Gets a hurried kick to the line.
There's that backwards handball again. Once it doesn't find the target, you know the opposition are charging forward. It's just the way the game's played. So imperative you find a target because it puts the rest of the players who are about to confront the ball under extreme pressure.
What odds a draw, Mick? They'd be shortening all the time. 6 points the margin. Archer has it held.
Yeah, I don't think there's much in it. There's 3.5 minutes remaining in this game. But what a contest we've seen tonight between 2 quality sides who've just been relentless in every facet of the game. It's been great viewing.
On centre wing at the moment. This is Harvey. clever kick. Well, it was billed as the game of the year here in Adelaide. Some have billed it as maybe a grand final preview.
Certainly the two form sides for the last 3 weeks. Adelaide have won their 3 by a total margin of 218 points. North by a total margin of 186. So they've been dominant form the last 3 weeks, these teams.
Pike slaps it towards the 50. Caven's in trouble. He gets caught. Clever little tap on is okay for Harvey. He also got the hand pass out the back door, and it wasn't good. It's taken over the line.
To add further merit to that too, Lee, since the halfway mark of the season, both sides have won their 7 games out of 9, losing only 2. Just goes to show how evenly matched these two teams are.
Throw in on centre wing. Roberts tries to slap it out the back. It's all Crows. Costa gives it off to Rashudo. Could this be the challenge? Tyson Edwards running at it, but Archer's running at him, and he does well. Costa again will go for it. Bell's got him. Bell goes to ground. Still going, however, is Edwards. Off to Rodron. The crowd erupts. Rodron sets sail for home. It's long. It's low. It's to Monda. This to tie the scores up.
Not many more important kicks than this, Andy. You call it,
Going to run straight at it, or is he going to try the check side? Looks like he's just going to try and run straight at the goals. Pick the straight drop punt.
You're going to go on the left side, wouldn't you, Lee?
2.5 minutes. Modra for goal.
Kick it out of bounds.
He misses.
Just a terrific kick, I think, from that part of the pocket. Just the right side.
He looked like he actually tried to run out slightly to his left and just kind of the offside kick off the outside of the right foot, but didn't quite make the contact and went pretty much straight.
Pickett from the back pocket. Ooh. Not a pretty kick. It might be okay. As North Melbourne, through Bell, surge it down towards centre wing, towards Carey.
No one forward of them.
Stevens there with him, and Carey sees it over the line. But importantly, he's made probably 40 metres.
Yeah, this time of the game, with only a couple of minutes remaining, Sandy, you hit the call, nail it right on the head. It is a game of yardage, meterage, inches, call it what you like. It's so important to get the ball forward your way.
Just in North's attacking zone. Ran Simpson, a hurried kick down towards Carey. Again, he's in front of Stevens. Needs someone going past. First one way, then the other. The hand pass out in front of Shannon Grant. He's a left footer. He'll swing it in towards Freeborn. Over the top. At the back is Harvey. He's got to try and bend it back. And he puts through a behind.
Valuable behind, one would
My
think.
word it is. Because that's 7 points now, the margin, with 1 3/4 minutes remaining. But what a contest we've seen here tonight. What a game. Hart will bring it back in. Kicks it straight down the middle. Up go the big men. It's Rashudo, tries to get it out towards James. They are tired. They are very, very tired, but they're still going. Connell wobbles it up towards centre wing. North have the numbers out the back. This is Robert Scott. Tried to find the boundary line, but instead it's the Crows once again. Vardy and Pickett. Pickett flies from behind, pushes towards the line. It's taken over. Was that on the full nose of the boundary umpire? We'll throw it in with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining.
Got a terrific leap to spoil, hasn't he, Byron Pickett? Even though he concedes the front position, he just seems to be able to jump up to affect that spoil.
Smart, realising the urgency of the situation now, tries to bullock his way through. He's not successful.
The North Melbourne runner out, calling all the players forward. There's no North Melbourne player now forward of centre. Only one actually, in fact, forward of the back of the centre square. Yeah. So they're all back in the Crows' third of the field.
And that was Carey. Blakey tries to get a short little kick.
On the bounce.
Down towards Carey. That's going to be very helpful for North Melbourne. Carey will just push it forward. Tried to soccer it, but missed it. Stevens will be first back on it. Could this be the last roll of the dice for the Crows? Wren sweeping, hand passes wide. Comes back again, but it's elusive.
It's time, Carey.
Tried to tap it on. He is exhausted, but he's not on his own there. Costa's hand pass goes astray. Connell soccers off the ground. North maintain possession. It's unbelievable. Bell's at the back. He can tidy up for North Melbourne. Peter Bell has done it.
Well, Sandy, there is tired and there is exhausted and there is fatigue. And Wayne Carey then, I reckon he is the result of the game. Have a look at this. The ball comes to him. I don't want it. I'm going to get it forward. And Bowles kicked the goal, which is probably going to decide the game. But I've never seen Wayne Carey just to a player. Many players just look so fatigued that they just didn't want the ball. Just get it forward.
Oh, golly, what a finish. 25 seconds remaining. Peter Bell has kicked his first. And North Melbourne will win this game, but not after an enormous struggle. Slapped out by McKernan. Taken away by Tyson Edwards. A high kick in towards half forward. Archer is there, and he takes a strong mark. Caught one round the chin early on in this match, and they strapped him up. And he'll take plenty of time. We have the last kick in the game. North Melbourne at home in an absolute thriller. Fantastic performance by the Roos, 14-21 to 13-14. Again this week, their accuracy in front of goal almost cost them the game. But in the end, Mick, home in an absolute beauty.
Yeah, for sure. What a terrific contest it was between two quality teams. And as we stipulated in the call, it was just a matter of being hard enough, long enough. And this North Melbourne team, that's one thing they certainly pride themselves on, to keep going throughout the course of the night, doing the right habitual things, knowing you've got a champion in front of goal in Wayne Carey. He'll often do the rest. But what a terrific a contest it was, full of pressure.
Might go down quickly to the ground because Curls is down there with Kingy. Curls?
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. Well, they've had a tough one, but a good one.
Oh, they're always hard here, and when you're in for a fight all night, and that's what we got.
You got back strong in the first quarter, then they seemed to peg you back, and then it was just goal for goal.
Well, that's what happens in finals type games, and I mean, if we play them again, it'll probably be a similar story. So it's always going to be that way when you play the Crows.
And I guess you had a big preparation for this one during the week.
Yeah, this is probably our biggest game for the year tonight, so it's good to have a win.
Great win, well played. Thanks, Bruce.
Yes, thank you, Curls. What it does is take them back to the top of the ladder. So a big win here for Northers. We take a break. They're home by 13 points.